Let's go! Who's up next?
Haven't heard that in a bit.
That feels nice. That's such a good song. That's such a cool intro. We're gonna do that one this time instead of the Pixies.
Ripped it
It's the
straight
state
out of
the Xbox Empire.
straight out of the Xbox E3 show. That was their pre E3, their pregame music one year. I forget
that's
what
so
year,
cool.
but it was, like they have like the countdown
Yeah,
that everyone
of
hates,
course.
like a 30-minute countdown where they just loop a song over and over. I think that was one of their
That's
songs.
what you snipe. That's a good one, Donnie.
Yeah.
And look at Timeless. It's still a banger.
I am so excited to record this show.
Oh,
I
man.
feel like I haven't been this excited to record a specific show in ages. Like,
Lucky me.
I've just been thinking about it all day, all weekend. I've listened to channels. There's lots of news. We're going to talk about it. But Sean, the state of Xbox content today sucks ass, dude. It's so bad.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm just going to call it like I see it.
Yep.
And it's some of it's great. I'm not throwing it all out with the bathwater.
What have I done wrong?
Oh, not you. But I feel like we both, I want to speak for you. I feel like an Xbox kinship with you and always have. I think it's just because we kind of grew up in that same era. We have a
Mhm.
lot of that same lore, a lot of that
Yep.
same history. I'm
Yep.
seeing a lot of things being said online, being talked about that isn't very, it's not taking into account any of that history. It's not like there's no explanations to why any of this happened. There's no context.
Mm.
And I feel like the context is missing.
Dude,
This is
you can't do context. You got to have snappy. You got to have
Well, I mean,
opinion.
it's like I don't mind people covering the news,
Sure.
right? Because that's what they're doing. They're covering the news.
Mm-hmm.
But many moons ago, I had a Wii U Remember Me podcast.
Oh yes, of course.
And I feel like this is the next installment in
Oh
in
no. Kinda.
I do.
I mean, look, after the Wii U was the Switch, so we're at a point here. Maybe what comes next is
You might be exactly right. You might
But
roll
who
this
knows?
back and been like, holy shit.
But I must say, and I think I kind of turned a corner on the Xbox Drive recently, but like in the moment when it happened, I'm like, it's not looking good, man. Like I don't know where the hope is coming from, other than the fact of there's new
Internal
people
desire.
here, and maybe they just undo a lot of what has caused
Oh, we're gonna
a
talk.
lot of our stuff. So yeah, I mean, we'll get into it. But
I also feel like a lot of the recent years have rightfully so tarnished a bit of Phil Spencer's luster that some of us old heads, to use the term, remember.
100%,
I feel like some of that's been lost.
100%.
For the very first time in Sweet Hang's history, I have notes.
It's funny because I was thinking about jotting down a couple of bullet points.
I have
But I'm like,
so many
it's such a
things-
hallmark.
I have so many things I want to talk about, so many different directions I want to go
Okay.
in. So I'm happy to drive this ship at least for a little bit.
Okay. Well, can I say off the top, I just want to address something because you and I had the last 2 episodes of Sweet Hangs. I feel like were some of our best. And I might say that every time that we have a Sweet Hangs episode. Last time, you and I talked a lot about life and like where you're at and like this new vision and direction and like epiphanies you were having. We'll pin that. We will have to come back to that because I think this Xbox stuff is probably going to take over this time. But
When I'm getting tagged by people in your Discord, and I mean this with no offense, I'm flattered even. I got folks in your Discord for the Xbox Drive asking you when you're going to record with me.
yeah.
I was like, clearly, there's something here that people are dying to hear.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
May not be a lot of people, maybe just 6, but
Mhm.
hell, we're going to do it for those 6 people.
Well, I think I mean you and I have a long time friendship. We've challenged each other. We've gone through it. I don't think that there's anything that we can do or say that will tarnish really anything. Like I think So I think there's no holds barred with this. I think we can safely disagree or
I also don't have
agree.
a format.
Yeah,
We
I
chew
think.
on things.
Yeah, I don't know that because I think I offended a lot of my co-hosts on the Xbox Drive with a lot of my facts.
Let me tell you, okay, so if we're going to keep it 100, I'll tell you what offended me on the Xbox Drive. An hour of Arc Raiders before anything, like I couldn't even make it to the point of the show that I wanted to hear because I had to go. Like my wife was like, "We have to go to dinner," and I was like, "They've just talked about Arc Raiders the whole time."
You're welcome.
So
You're welcome. Well, I mean, if that's the most offensive thing that we've done, then that's all right.
it's not bad. I'm sure I've done. Well, Lord knows we do way worse on PSVG every week.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I mean, at this stage, who the hell cares? I know that I've got this. Like we're fine.
I haven't heard the show that I wanted to hear
Fair.
this weekend.
Yep.
And I can tell you, like I feel like I can count on one hand the amount of times I've had that's a specific feeling where I'm hearing stuff and it's just noise. It's just regurgitated same Twitter thought after the next. And I'm like, I don't know, man. How is nobody like you've seen it, but your listeners probably haven't. I'm in my Discord, all comers, just chewing on thoughts, chewing on projections, chewing on ideas. I feel like Xbox has given us just enough vague sentences that anyone can grab onto any lifeboat that they're looking to grab onto.
That's not new.
Of course not. But there is a reset of sorts here that makes things feel possible. And I think that's where some of that hopium is definitely fanning out of.
Well, and this is where we need the amount of time that we I think
100%.
are allowing ourselves here today because and that's what I like. It's hard. Look, there's a lot of reasons maybe for you haven't heard what you've needed to hear, and I think it's challenging because there is a lot going on here. Like Phil Spencer's been around for a long time. We've seen some great things.
Some of these are Xbox people. I want them to dig.
Well, I mean, a lot of it too. Like this just happened.
That's true. Maybe I'm being too harsh.
When we recorded, it was like 3 hours after. Like I was naming
Maybe I'm
the
just
episode.
a big fan of us.
What I mean, I get it.
It very well could just be that. Maybe I'm just, I don't know, self-absorbed. But I haven't heard the show that I'd like, or I haven't heard the topics that I'd like to talk about, address.
I'm not even seeking it, so I will just make it.
Okay. The first thing that I would like to do is I would like to talk about Phil Spencer. And not what he's done wrong and not what this means for the future. We can save that until after. I would like to talk about Phil fucking Spencer.
Okay, nice.
This is somebody that I have adored for some time.
Yep.
Nintendo fans have Reggie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
PlayStation
has Layden. They've got Trenton. They've got Shu.
Yeah.
Xbox's guy was Phil Spencer.
That's for sure.
And for those of you that have been around since before the Xbox One era, he was what most people consider Matt Booty today. He was over Xbox's developers, over their studios. He was their content guy. He was their software guy. And I remember Phil Spencer from E3 shows. Great E3 shows that had Resident Evil and Metal Gear Revengeance and Call of Duty, and where Xbox felt like they were driving the platform of video games, and Phil Spencer was on the stage for those shows. I remember Crisscross Applesauce, Phil Spencer doing that techie bro thing where he sits down, let me talk to you gamers, like he was their version of that. He's their, I would say Iwata. He is a programmer by trade, but he's been with Xbox since the beginning. He's been with Microsoft since I was 1 year old.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
That's crazy to say. That is.
He
nuts.
started at Microsoft in 1988. He came on to Xbox when they launched. He's been there the whole time.
Yeah.
We've grown up. We've matured as customers and fans of this brand as he rose through it. And now he exits the door, and all anybody wants to talk about is the new person, what it means. It's like there's a gigantic history that is just about to exit this business. And I know he got his Dice Award, and it's not on anybody's responsibility to fan him up any. But if I was still doing the Xbox Empire, I think I would have devoted an entire show to just appreciating Phil Spencer.
Yeah, well, let's do it.
I wanted to ask you, when you think of Phil Spencer, like what comes to mind?
I think this is a really important thing for us to do because sadly there is a recency effect, and you and I have lamented Xbox in great detail for years at this point. So it is good to kind of like take a step back and go. When I think of Phil Spencer, I think he wanted to do what was right. Like I think he was like trying to do what was right for as many people as possible, and in that way, I feel a particular kinship with him. Like that's how I feel. I want to make everybody happy. I want to be all things to all people all the time. And I don't know. I think in the end, ultimately, I think he kind of got a little over his head, perhaps. But yeah, like I think he did well to represent the best interests of as many people as humanly possible. That's kind of does that make sense?
Yeah, he does. I think Phil understood that it was important to success to be liked.
Oh, for sure. Well, hi. Yeah. I think that's me. I think about that as well. Like maybe and I think in both of our cases, maybe to a fault, like, let's be liked. Let's communicate. Let's be transparent. I think him and I are very similar on that front and especially in an era where that was.
I think he made a lot of decisions early on in an attempt to get people to just like Xbox.
Sure.
To be quote unquote the good guy. Because I think they realize that image is a part of success in this business, that people buy these things that are really expensive, not because they have to consume it, because they want to. Like there's a there's this feeling, as I've often credited, Jeff Grubb, consoles are about making you feel special. Like that brand loyalty is about that. And I definitely think to a fault.
Yeah.
I think he understood that for sure.
Yeah. He wanted to make people feel like they weren't being left behind, that they were being considered. Like he really thought about, especially when it came to like backwards compatibility, like let's use that. Let's make sure you guys don't feel like you're left out when
That's a good announcement to pull out. That's
I mean, there's there's moments that I think
he worked on Encarta.
That's great. I didn't know that. Did he really?
Yeah.
I have rules. That's awesome.
Yeah, like Phil Spencer is kind of a fascinating guy. Like when I think of Phil Spencer, I think of Fable 3.
Okay.
I see him on stage talking about Fable 3, bringing it to light, pitching it, talking about the importance of Fable. When I think of Phil Spencer, I think of Cliffy B. I think about the cars. I think about, I think about Kinect.
Yeah,
it was a big part of it. I think about Splinter Cell. But he was the, I think more than anything, the thing that I think about him most, and I think it's really important to the conversation we're going to have, is that Phil Spencer was the only on Xbox guy. And that at the time, early on, before Xbox One, before Matric, that was like a maverick take to have inside of Xbox. The Peter Moore Xbox was just buy stuff. Steve Ballmer's like, Xbox for a long time did not have studios, did not have content. They had a couple, and they just bought stuff. But as the increase in costs went up, as developers went up, and more importantly, as PlayStation started to build that reputation of this in-house masterclass of developers, I credit, maybe incorrectly so, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I haven't researched any of these opinions. These are just my take, having sat here and watched all of this happen for 20 years. But my take, and the thing that I always attribute to Phil Spencer, is Phil Spencer was the dude banging the drum going, we need to own content. But this is a content-driven business.
Yeah,
I am in charge of our studios, and I'm telling you, we don't have enough. And I think that played out during the Xbox One gen, as costs started to go up, as their market share started to go down, right?
Yeah,
Suddenly a check couldn't just solve their problems.
I think he was very open to, I don't know. So to that point, I think that's at about the time where content creators were getting a real voice.
Mhm.
In particular, Xbox Podcast Unlocked, Ryan McCaffrey, I think spectacular coverage of Xbox over the years, going all the way
Mhm.
back to the magazine days. For me, Ryan McCaffrey was one of the first to identify as that being like the real problem as far as like the
I
sustainability of
remember.
Xbox.
I remember, yeah.
And to
It just didn't have enough content to compete year in, year out.
so I think for Phil Spencer, like I don't remember, I feel like it was Ryan first and then Phil Spencer kind of going almost like, you're right. Like I don't know, he must have seen it in his own from his own vantage point. But Phil Spencer was like very open to that criticism. Like not
Yeah.
just in a I hear you, but like, no, you're right. And here's
We're
what we're
trying to do something about it.
right. And what an
And what
interesting transition.
What I'm thinking
from,
of is, I think I have E3 memories. I want to say of like 2008, 2009, could be 10, 11, that time. Like when E3 got out of like the indie, like
Yeah.
hotel lobbies and onto an actual amphitheater right then.
Yeah.
My first memories of Phil Spencer were him coming on stage talking about exclusives for Xbox. Like he was driving that message, and whether or not he believed it or not, he was the spokesperson for it in a sea of executives that weren't. He
Mhm.
was like, you can play this only on Xbox. And he always, if you go back, like he was always that guy. Like, you can do this only on Xbox. Like
Yeah.
he knew that exclusivity was what drove the market. And that was my impression from him from the beginning. I think that impression is paid out in the decisions he made when he was the leader. And I think that's really relevant to how people think about what's about to happen to Xbox and what perhaps just walked out the door.
Well, I so curious because when you talk about exclusives, that like he also led Xbox during like his most prominent leading role was when exclusives went out the window.
He bought
went
Tomb
out-
Raider.
Totally. Well, this is
He
dude,
bought-
like
and he
this is
bought-
why it's
he
so
bought all of
complicated.
Bethesda, and he bought Ninja Theory, and he bought Mojang, and he
I'm
bought.
not arguing.
You know,
Like, it's-
like he tried. He tried to
I'm
do
telling you, dude.
exclusive content.
you have the clip Xbox exclusive, console exclusive.
Before that clip happened, that was Phil Spencer.
Well, and this is I love that you're doing this because it's like that can get lost so easily.
I haven't heard
But-
anybody mention it.
Well, because we've spent the last how many years going like exclusives and Xbox don't mix.
Just for
And
games.
to the point of like trying to be liked and understanding the fault of that. And people don't like when I say this, my own co-host on the Xbox Drive included. Like, I'm sorry to say, I know that it would be great for everybody to be able to play everything all the time on all things, no matter what. It's like, it simply doesn't work.
It's not how this business runs.
It's
and
not how it works. And you can't compare it to movies and DVD players and whatever else like that. That all sounds like it makes logical sense, except for the fact that Mario isn't on Xbox or PC
logic
or
doesn't
anything
apply
like
to the
that.
situation.
Yeah,
It's a different market.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, and we're all armchair accountants and financial
100%.
analysts and all these things,
Yep,
and going like,
experts.
okay, well, you got to sell more copies of games, so put it on the other consoles, and it's like, why isn't that saving them?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, this is good for us to like look
was
at the
happy to
entire
hear it.
journey
I mean,
because exclusives they were
I
the
was
thing.
losing it. I lost
Mass
it.
Effect was exclusive. BioShock was exclusive.
I lost it the day that the 4 games thing happened. You know, I literally lost it and felt like I was screaming into the void of everyone else dismissing it. I was like, this is a massive deal.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
you can't undercut. It's huge what this is going to do to them.
My thought at the time, if I recall, and I might be contradicting myself here a little bit, was there's a difference between day and date exclusivity and like timed exclusivity. And I always felt like timed
You
exclusivity
always
was
wanted
the way.
timed exclusivity. That was your thing from the start.
I feel like I feel still like, who cares if your stuff goes a year later?
Yeah, you were thinking
Somewhere
like
else.
PlayStation.
And PlayStation has proven the point.
They have.
PlayStation they have countered everything Xbox has done. From Game Pass, they're like, oh, you want to do day and date, like first day in there? Like, no. We'll do
We're gonna
something
make it. We're gonna
like
make it
that,
just
but not
good
the same.
enough that nobody will leave for you for this.
100%.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because they made decisions that protected their business. When Xbox has done anything but that.
Well, they were desperate.
They've lit their business on fire, to your credit, under Phil Spencer's leadership.
Yeah.
Before we get into that, drive a stake through the man's career,
Yeah.
I mean, I did write this down before I just fluff him up like the greatest second thing, the greatest thing ever. They lost Lionhead on his watch.
Sure. Yeah.
Scalebound happened on his watch. Just 4 Games happened on his watch. Like a lot of bad stuff happened on his watch too. So it comes with both.
Dude,
Lionhead
he took big swings. Like, let's
He
say
did.
that.
yeah,
Maybe the biggest swings.
he tried.
Mm-hmm.
Like Game Pass was them trying
Game
to
Pass.
get back in the game.
Thank you for saying that. Let me rewind a little bit. When you say, like, what do you think of when you think of Phil
Game
Spencer?
Pass.
For
That's
me,
all Phil Spencer.
it's the Xbox One S, then the Xbox One X, which I think it's right there neck and neck with the 360 as far as best console Xbox has ever put out. The One X is spectacular. The image turning around the Don Matrix or walking away from the Don
That
Matrix
180.
Xbox One came from the One S, then
Mm-hmm.
Game Pass and the One X, and it's like, all right, now we're onto something. And they started buying some
Hopeful
studios,
days.
and it's like, okay.
Yep.
Like, I see you. I see where we're going with this. And it's like, you and I
To
have talked
me-
about this for years.
To
Just
me,
stick with it.
I think that's Phil Spencer in his element.
100%.
So while he was the president or CEO and he owns the responsibility, perhaps with rose tinted glasses, I don't attribute the Just 4 Games to him.
I don't
I
remember
never
what Just 4
have.
Games is. What is that?
That's when he sat on the couch with him and Sarah
Oh,
Bond.
I
and
see.
it's-
There's
we're
only 4
going
games. I
multi-platform.
understand.
It's only 4
Got it,
games.
got it,
Like
got
I
it.
read through that then.
I thought it was like a media outlet, like Just
At the
4
time
Games.
at the time we should do that. At the time when he said it, even on that show, I was like, I don't actually think he believes this. But again, context.
Yeah.
The context that I have is this is the man that bought Gears, bought
Yeah.
Black Tusk,
Yeah.
brought them in, took them from Epic, bought Ninja Theory, bought Mojang. Like it went against everything that I saw him want to do.
Yeah.
So I don't attribute that to his feet. Maybe incorrectly. Maybe I'm absolving him of sins that that are his. But I think you look at the comments and the quotes from Tim Stewart, from Amy Hood, from Satya Nadella at the same time. I think because of their position and their marketing and their investment, I think those decisions were placed on him
Yeah.
to carry out.
Yeah. I mean, that could have a lot to do with his timing of his exit of
'Cause-
like, I've done what I can.
We talk
This
about
is now
these
out of my hands.
renegades, the energy that Xbox used to have, the Ballmer days and the Gates days and the Sheamus days. Like Phil
Sheamus, yeah.
Spencer was
Peter
there
Moore.
in those days.
Yeah. Peter Moore was there. And yeah.
So like
absolutely.
he didn't just he wasn't like we shouldn't be doing any of this. We should be multi-platform. Like that wasn't Phil Spencer's mantra until
Yeah,
I think it had to be.
I wonder, like, it's so hard for me to say whether or not he bought it or not. Like, it's almost like it almost doesn't matter because he was the
He was
guy.
still the head. He owns
Yeah,
it.
like-
Like he will always have to wear that.
I do think that there is something to be said about trying to be all things to everyone and reaching as many
Mhm.
people as possible that I do think was attractive to him. And that I really think he wanted to be, the likable Xbox
Mhm.
and thought that that was a business strategy. And that's where him and I start to disconnect a little bit of like, oh, everybody's going to like that we are all things to all people and we're accessible and you can play anywhere and you can do all these things. And I just don't think that, like, yes, that's great, but this is my issue with Xbox just in general. It's like you do all the things on the periphery well enough, if not even the best. And it's like you don't do the main thing. You got to hit the fucking bullseye, man. And it's like you can't, which is games, by the way. Just make good, to your point, just make good video games. And it's like, okay, well, we can't do that, but like we'll put our games on
What if
everything.
we gave you all-
And it's cloud gaming and play anywhere and all these other things. And
Yeah.
it's like, no,
Yeah.
you can't change
Yeah.
that conversation. You can't fool gamers to
Yep.
think that all this other stuff is more important than the games. And I've been screaming about this forever about what is Xbox's identity? Whether
Mhm.
it's the type of games that you experience on there, like what you're supposed to feel when you think about Xbox, all these things.
Recore.
I mean, actually, I like Recore, but that's a
I
whole
know.
other thing. That's a whole other piece. Nobody else talks about what's his face, Aaron Greenberg. Where is he?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the conversation about Aaron Greenberg? That every Xbox is or everything's an Xbox or whatever. Dude is the head of marketing. And I've been screaming about this dude for a long time. Sorry to say, man, but like
You're good.
that
I'm
ain't
just
okay.
listening.
That's kind of at the heart of. I mean, he reported up into Phil Spencer, so ultimately Phil's the dude. But you gotta know that messaging wasn't resonating with anyone. Nobody was thinking Xbox was cool for a very long time, and it's just too bad. I don't know. I'll take a breath here, I guess. You're just
I
smiling
wrote
at me.
down. I was listening to the Xbox documentary, the docuseries today while I was working.
Nice. Yeah.
And I wrote down a quote that stuck out to me. Again, context for today's conversation and just generally the news that's going on this week. They're asking about Lionhead. I think that's his biggest blemish. People can give him all hell, or they can throw all the sins of Xbox the last 3 years at his feet. But I still, to the one thing that I think hurt me the most under the entire tenure was the closing of Lionhead. And he asked about it, and he said, on the documentary, he says, you acquire a studio for what they're great at now, and your job is to help them accelerate how they can do what they do, not accelerate what you do. Profound stuff.
Yeah.
When you have 40 studios,
Yeah.
and a bajillion teams and
Yep.
tens of thousands of developers, and what's your identity? What are you doing? What
Yep.
do you do?
Guess who just did the exact same thing, by the way?
That's why I wanted to put it in the
Blue Point.
in the notes. Yeah.
Where's Blue Point? Like, what'd you buy them for? And then what'd you have them
100%.
start doing?
Put them
And then
doing
you
live
close them?
service stuff.
Jesus
I
Christ, man.
think I mean, yeah, we're going to get into more of this because I've got quotes from Asha and Sadia and everybody. But again, I just want to stick somewhat here to just Phil Spencer.
Sure.
He lost Bungie. So it's a lot of pros and a lot of cons.
Yeah.
But I always liked the dude. And I mean, he is a gamer. He understood the market. He understood the customer. He understood the messaging.
Yep.
That needed to happen. Right. And I think when he was, I think when he was at total control at the helm, I think those things shone through. I think you
Yep.
could see that in his stewardship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I just wanted to start there at least to give the man some flowers
Big time.
for a great, I don't know how long he was, 25 years, I guess.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah. It's the 25th anniversary. He's been
You
there the whole
just
time,
wish
25 years.
You wish after a career like that, you hang it up.
Go
like,
out on a higher note. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Like,
going out in
truly,
the minor leagues.
He could have launched it, and I mean, maybe I could go back and read my history books a little better, but like, I feel like launch the Series X, and then like that's it, and
Just
you're
get out.
good.
If he
Now
gets
the
out
other
when
piece
Sean
too
Layden
is
gets out, he's remembered
Totally.
as a hero.
Yep,
Kind of like Sean Layden.
dude. Like how there's so many pivot points as far as like
This is why I wanted to have this conversation with you. That's
Well,
why I
great.
haven't wanted to do it with anyone else, because I'm like, there's a million different directions. to
there
talk about.
are, and like I just think, imagine if Xbox Series X launches with Halo Infinite as intended,
Yep.
and it's great, and it's
Yep.
like, are we even
And then
having
they
any
follow
of
up-
these
They
conversations?
follow it right back up with Starfield, and it's a banger,
Totally.
and it's exclusive, and that
Isn't that weird? It's
encourages
about
them,
the games.
and that encourages them to add yet another exclusive to, and yeah, now the snowball's rolling in the right
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like all these things, exclusives are antiquated, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, yeah, if they suck, or that's too strong a word.
Here's
If
the other
they're-
side of that. I won't
if
say the
they're
other
mid.
side of that coin, but another thought to have. Imagine if Microsoft decides then in 2019 that we want to make another play for the PC space. And instead of launching the Xbox Series or the S, they launch a PC with Xbox built around it. And they're like, this is the future of gaming. And then how well that pairs up to where we are now, before the Steam Deck, before all the other things. Like,
It's too early.
imagine if they did that.
I think that would have been bad.
But I contend that I think the worst part of their pivot is that their pivot happened mid-gen.
100%.
They didn't have a chance to pitch the pivot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if they had a chance to pitch the pivot initially, some would have hated it. But
I
over
think they-
time, it would have grown on people.
They tried to pitch the pivot during a position of third place. If
Oh,
they're a
100%.
leader,
Even worse than third.
totally. I mean, somehow
they're third
worse
by
than third
default.
of three.
Yeah,
Right.
but it's not 3.
But if they
It's
were
like
in the
1,
lead
2, and they're like
then
5.
yeah, if they're in first place on consoles, then you go, this is the future. And everybody's like, Roger that. Like, we're good with this. But I think it's really hard to do. And I get why they would do it, because they're losing the conversation that everybody's paying attention to. So you try and go like, oh no, look over this.
I
Look
just
at
think it
this,
would
and we'll be
be-
good at that.
I think it would be more believable that they believe in what they're doing if they initiated it instead of it being such a
100%.
obvious,
That's that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
desperate tangent because
Yes.
nothing's working.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
They're doing this out of desperation. I've contended that from the Just 4 games.
Yep.
From that day, I was like, it's what has been clear to me. I feel like since then is that they've chosen games over their platform. That they look at the content they have and they say we can make more money doing this
Unit
than we
sales.
can doing that.
Yeah.
That's what they chose to do,
Mm-hmm.
right? Whoever, Sadia, let's just say all of the above, Phil included, right? They chose to go that path. The question is, were any of these decisions that just came down because they weren't scheduled, planned decisions? These are surprises.
Mm-hmm.
Is that because that plan isn't working?
Of course.
Is that, of course?
I think it is. I think if it's working, then you do more of what's working. If something's not working, then you pivot.
But they said they're going to do more of what's working.
So, going back to the Just 4 Games, he said something like, we're going to see what we learn. And this is where, like, you were not convinced on this. And
Not
for
even a little
me,
bit.
I was hopeful that they would have like a more comprehensive
They'd have a
look.
metric of how many users they lost when they did this.
Thank you. Yes. Not just like a single, this is one of the things that frustrates me in business in general, and just people who analyze things. They look at a single metric and go like, well, that went up.
Yeah.
So let's just move forward with that. It's like, what is the brand equity? What do people think about Xbox? What is the cost? What's the trade-off here? And it's like, all they saw was like, well, we sold more copies than we would have
Problem
otherwise.
is they were in such bad position that it didn't matter.
This is the piece that
That's the
we are
problem.
missing. Is we all know the story of Satya going to Phil and going like, why are we even in this business? Why are we why is Microsoft in gaming? And Phil saved Xbox with that.
You just jogged
chat.
my memory. That's another thing that I don't think he'll be remembered as the person that really injected Xbox into Microsoft's products.
Yeah.
And if
For better or worse.
if anything else, yeah, for better or for worse, that probably more than anything is his legacy.
Yeah.
He brought software as a subscription. He tied Xbox to Azure. He brought in Connect. These are other technologies, other things that they were working on that he applied Xbox to.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah,
The power of the cloud should have been cool, by the way. Powered by the cloud, like Crackdown 3. It's
such
too
a
bad
shame
it was
Crackdown. Yeah. Again, another
Crackdown. It
swing
could
and
have
a
been
miss.
cool. It could have been cool. I mean, we ended up getting it, by the way, with like
And
Flight
Crackdown was
Simulator.
cool.
It was
Yeah, you're
fine.
right. We did get the power by the cloud. Yeah,
And it's in Call of Duty as well. It's all these things like streaming assets and all this stuff. Like it's
true.
there. We just don't really like hinge a platform onto it anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's too bad that let's see what we learn. And they learned it like within 3 weeks, and it's like, oh shit, like you're not measuring nearly enough with that. It's like, okay, we're gonna do more than this.
The thing that I yelled at back then, I'll just defend myself because I'm making up, cases in my head, I was the one screaming that they're going to learn that they're going to make more money. Like that
You
was
were right.
absolutely, I was like, yeah, they're going to make more money. This is an easy problem, to solve. But I was also saying they won't see a loss on their hardware until the next inflection point.
100%.
I was like, that was what I was like, you're not going to be able to gauge it now. You're going to be like, it's great. We have all these people using it. It's like, because they already had it.
Yeah.
The next time it's time to make a choice, they're going to choose the other thing.
Yeah. It's so predictable. So this is the thing, Donnie.
'Cause that was
we talk about
common
like,
sense.
but we talk about like whoever is leading a platform or console, like being a gamer or not being a gamer. And it's like a gamer should have known that.
100%. And I think he did.
Yeah.
I always
maybe.
contend that I think he did. And we can't prove that. But if somebody that's listening to this hates Phil Spencer, I implore you to go watch the YouTube video where he delivers that message. And that looks like a man that does not want to say the things he's saying.
Yeah.
So many body language. And I thought that was Sarah
Yeah.
Bond. I thought that's why she was there. I thought
Mm.
that's why she came. because it seemed like they're transitioning to a new leaf, a new vision, a new chapter, and it felt like Phil was kind of just holding on, like he was just a holdover. Like they tried it, they gave Phil all the money, they bought the things, the Game Pass, it didn't work, so now this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he just didn't. He kind of stumbles over his word. Like when I think of Phil Spencer, I think of like Bruce Campbell. He's got this cool, like debonair, kind of stylish look to him. He's like a tall dude. Like he usually exudes like some sort of like kind of like surfer bro, but like confidence.
Yeah.
Like he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
And that day felt very timid and vague, and like, yeah, we're gonna look at it, we're gonna learn. Like it was like, this doesn't sound like Phil Spencer at all. Like go
because he
watch
knows
that.
people are not going to like what
100%, because he is because he gets it. That's the point I'm making. Like go watch that Phil Spencer versus the back compat Phil Spencer. The back compat Phil Spencer walks out on stage going, I've got a cannon in my pocket right now.
Yeah.
He knows it.
Yeah.
And like you can tell. And this is the kind of context. These are the things I think about when I look back on Xbox. Like I don't think of Phil Spencer day in and day out. He's just a part of this story of Xbox I've been on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we've been talking about him this whole time.
I think of these highlights and they just come up. Like I see his face, I see the body language. I haven't seen anybody talk about any of this.
So I want to talk to you about Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and the exclusivity on that, and the
perhaps an inflection point where he begins to change his own mind.
That's exactly why I wanted to go there, because and this is like there's a theme here of like, and this is me. This is not me casting judgment on him. It's like, I get it. This is me. Like, oh, you don't like that? Let me just change that a little. Instead of like just being like really true and set in
conviction,
the vision. And like this is maybe where there are enough examples, and I go like, oh, Phil, like somebody's got to like back you up on this. Like just stick to your guns like one or two more times and it will be okay. It's rough in the transition, but like it will be all right. He cared so deeply that people were so pissed about Rise of the Tomb Raider and that he changed it. He's like, oh, you don't like exclusives, or you don't like when we do this, so we won't do it. And it's like, oh,
I think I have an answer for this. I don't know if it's right, but I think I have an answer. It's because Xbox is driven by analytics.
Sure,
because they don't make. This has been my issue with Xbox for the last. Well, it's 2026, almost 27. The last 8 years.
Yeah.
This is before the Xbox.
Like, which analytics? What do you like? So I'd love to hear more about this.
Telemetry, like, Xbox.
Yeah.
Xbox, Microsoft. They're analytic driven. KPIs, performance indicators.
Yeah.
When they make announcements, they gauge and measure how many likes, how many shares, what's the general feedback. And they use that, again, market research, they use that to set their path. I think I've always contended that Xbox is too reactionary to just social chatter. There is no conviction. They're constantly 180ing. They're constantly pulling different levers. There is a gigantic lack of consistency across the product, across the brand, and across the messaging at Xbox. That has been there since before Don Matrick, but definitely since Don Matrick, where the internet gets on something and they reverse course. The problem with that, there is a part of you, like the defensive side would go, but we're listening to our customer. It's like, no, you're empowering them. You're giving them stake and say in this.
In this strategy.
It's the opposite of leadership.
Yes.
You're letting the cart pull the horse.
Yep, 100%.
Leadership says, we're doing this because we think it's good.
Yep.
This is the right way, and we're going this way. And they see it out. Consequences or success.
So this is why I struggled with the idea of like they're analytic driven. And I would think what you mean to say is like they're measuring response, but like 100%. Analytics would show
they live in the moment.
This is not working. Like that's why I was struggling.
They live in the moment.
Well, they live in the 24-hour news cycle in that to determine long-term strategy and make long-term decisions. And it's like this has been 3 days, and like all of a sudden you're changing direction. You're totally.
doesn't it feel like we've lived like 3 Xbox lifetimes since like
100%.
2015?
100%.
It's like we've watched 3 completely different companies at work.
Yep.
You know, we saw a traditional game model, then we saw them get an inkling of growth in Game Pass, and they bet the whole house on it.
Yep.
They were like, this is the future, and they threw everything they had at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yep.
and then we have this iteration of Xbox, which I don't think anybody can clearly define what it is. It's just a hopeless grasp at anything.
Oh, it really is.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're 40 hours in. If you didn't realize this
40
yet,
minutes, not
40
hours.
minutes. Sorry, 40.
Good
40
Lord.
minutes.
Let's do it.
40
Let's do
slip
it.
there,
Let's
right?
set it. Might
If
be
you
what
didn't
it'll
know
take.
already, if you've been under a rock, Xbox has just changed their entire leadership crew out. Phil Spencer is set to retire. He'll leave the company at the end of the year. We are ushering in a brand new CEO, Asha Sharma. You may ask what happened to Sarah Bond. Well, she left too.
Yeah.
The heir apparent, the person's been here for almost 10 years. I don't know if that makes you feel as old as it makes me feel. I'm like, Jesus, 10 years with Sarah Bond, but almost. Not that far away from 10
I have
years.
like a denial that it's like that. That is, I'm
that's
refusing
that
to
long?
let that sink in. I can't even calculate that.
And yeah, a lot of things have been said. Each person involved has had basically an email or a blog that they all wrote to hype up or praise the other. Somehow Matt Booty has been promoted again. He's
can't.
now the new Phil Spencer. He's like,
I'm not sure what I'm supposed to say about it, honestly.
what can you say? I do want to talk about him for a moment, but just to catch everyone up with the news, I'm not going to turn this into a book report, but I wrote down some bullet points, and I'm going to start today with an article from Jez Corden of Windows Central. Kind of one of, I would say, the heartbeat of the Xbox faithful, the online Xbox community, maybe. I think his article started with a sentence that I thought literally paved the way. And he says, let's see here. Xbox is at a crossroads. The next couple of years would not only reveal whether or not Xbox survives as an entity within Microsoft, but also define whether or not Microsoft will still want to have any consumer-facing businesses whatsoever.
Yeah.
And that clearly states what's in front of Asha.
Yeah. I mean, you and I have talked about that over the last couple of years, but this is about as distinct as that could. Like, we could have said that a year ago. We could have said it as Activision.
Change course.
Yeah, this is as distinct as it has ever been illustrated for us all. Is Phil and Sarah leaving, this whole changeover. Like, this is a marker. This is a chapter in the
100%.
story where everything else was kind of like an undefined moment in time. But we could have said that 2025 is the year that they decide what the future of Xbox is going to be. 2024, it could have been the Series X. Like, we could have been saying that. So it's almost like every election is, the most important election ever.
That's
It's
true.
Like, it's kind of where we're at here.
So the
I
question
think that's
comes.
a good way to start this.
The question comes: this new leadership, what are they planning to do?
Right.
And to maybe try and answer that, I've written down some comments that everyone involved has made. So let's start at the top. Satya Nadella, CEO, president, whatever his role is, over all of Microsoft. He says, gaming has been part of Microsoft from the start. Flight simulators shipped before Windows did. Asha has helped build and scale services that reach billions of people. She has deep experience growing platforms. Those were the 2 highlights that I took from his soliloquy of an email. Asha Sharma, the new CEO of Xbox, comes from Core AI, a subject or a division within Microsoft that, as I understand it, her role was to inject AI applications into Microsoft Suite, a role that, again, my understanding, she was somewhat successful at. She added AI to Copilot. She added, I think, some AI stuff to GitHub. Like, she's gotten some traction over there with those initiatives. And she's had several statements, and I read, "My first job is simple. Understand what makes this work and protect it." Yeah, boy, it's just like you're the president of the whole company. Well, my first goal is simple. Understand what we do here. She says that she's got 3 things that she wants to work on: great games, the return of Xbox, and the future of play. We're going to break down each one of those individually, but she also says, I want to return to that renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place. And I also threw in here that there are some weird things on the periphery that I don't think really matter to like this conversation. But there are some weird stuff. Like there's some AI stuff. There's some personal opinion. There's some things floating around her that I don't think it applies to this, but I think needs to be said.
Sure. Let me I'm going to give a benefit of the doubt for whatever reason. I mentioned on the Xbox Drive, like I've never heard of this person before Friday, and I don't think most people had either. Yep. And so anybody, having any strong opinions about who Asha is, to me, it's completely unfounded, disingenuous, damn near grifter-like, because you didn't even know who this person was. So let me just say that. Sure. Benefit of the doubt, just because I'm trying to be a compassionate Canadian human being person. When she starts with, my first order of business is to learn this and to figure out what makes it work and protect it. To me, that was trying to establish a sense of like humility.
Yeah.
And I'm not a gamer. I have not been part of the Xbox business. So I want to be forthright with that and like just kind of say, I want to learn this. But I have heard over the last couple of days, a lot of people really holding that against her.
Well, it makes me,
this is what you're going to do. You have to learn it first. It's like, well,
I think that's something, that's a burden that you place at the feet of Satya Nadella. I don't think he's done enough to convey why she's here. He hasn't made, like, why her? He hasn't made that clear.
Yep.
So her inexperience is deemed a fault.
Yeah.
Because he's not telling you, oh, because she's so incredible when we interviewed, like we had to have her.
Yeah.
There is none of that. None of that's there.
Well, so let's fill in the blank there. Is it Xbox is in a really shitty spot and we have our doubts about the future of this thing, and its best chance is with her because she's got all these success stories behind her? Is that the story what people want to hear? Like,
we're going to keep reading more bullet points, but I think all of the statements that have been said, I think, offer enough vague statements that anybody can find what they're looking to find. I honestly
100%.
Out of these 4 statements, if you want to think Xbox is back and they're going back,
totally. Yep.
You can find something that makes you feel that way.
Yep.
If you think she's the Reaper, like Seamus Blackley does.
I saw that.
I think you can find something to make you think that way.
Yeah.
Let's talk about great games. Number 1, she tweeted this. 3 bullet points. Great games, return of Xbox, future of play.
Yeah.
Great games. First job, first order of business, elevate Matt Booty. Great games. She says she wants to empower studios, invest in iconic franchises, and bring back new ideas, and wants to develop stories that make people feel something. This came out of her interview with Variety. She says, kind of like the feelings that I had when I played Firewatch, as another Firewatch Dorn. Like, yeah, like again, if you're looking for something, I think you can find it.
Yep.
She's saying, like, they're saying all the right things. She, well, sorry, I'm
wasn't
getting
Firewatch a PlayStation exclusive, timed exclusive?
I think it was. Yeah.
So she couldn't say Last of Us or one of those. So she
Recore.
Well, but I mean, it's a great point. But like people have been talking about that forever. It's like, Xbox, can you please do what PlayStation is doing? Like this is me kind of like maybe guessing a little bit, but like, yeah, that's what people forget that we were even talking about that. There was a long time where we're like, Xbox, can you please give us Uncharted, or even like that's why the Rise of the Tomb Raider thing came up, because that was missing from the portfolio, like that whole thing.
And I wonder if I've always wondered if they didn't go for Tomb Raider because of their experience with exclusivity.
That's 100%.
And it's like,
oh, dude,
that
is a major. That experience is a major pivot point in all of this. It got
sold to Amazon for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They probably paid more for Rise than the whole studio was sold for.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, probably.
She says she wants to have the return of Xbox. Now, this is the one that people are going to fixate on one way or the other. I've gone through all of her statements and her interviews, and I've added 3 bullet points that I think supports what she's trying to. I'll say 2. her first one, she says, what this means is a recommitment to Xbox fans, those that have invested in them for the past 25 years. She says, I want to celebrate our roots with a renewed commitment to Xbox starting on console. Again, saying the things that I think if you're an Xbox disenfranchised fan, you want to hear.
Of course.
But in the immediate paragraph, literally the very next sentence after that paragraph ends, gaming now lives across devices, not within the limits of any single piece of hardware. As we expand across PC, mobile, and cloud, Xbox should feel seamless. There's a ton of hopium out there that this change is happening because Xbox is going back to the way it was. And in Sadia's comments and her very own comments, they've both doubled down on the path that has already been laid out in front of them.
Mm-hmm.
So what does the return of Xbox mean?
Yeah, I mean, its importance, its prominence, it's cool. And those are all vague feeling kind of things instead of the return of Xbox as people know it. So without any sort of tangible, I should say, like this is what's going to happen, then yeah, it is hopium. It's just speak right now. It's nothing really.
Conflicting messaging again from Team Green.
From Xbox. Yeah.
Again, it's like they can't not do it.
Yep. Multiple audiences too, right? Like a message like this. And also, God, there's so many different threads to pull here.
Let's pull
I saw today in the Tom Warren article that you linked everywhere I saw that you could possibly link
I think I was pretty quick on that one.
IGN was going to leak this story.
That's why it came out early.
That's why. And so like even our commentary on the Xbox Drive, we recorded on Friday. It's like, what is going on here? Like
everyone thought Sarah was fired without notice. And it's like, no, she knew. It just wasn't supposed to happen Friday.
Yeah, it wasn't supposed to be announced to everyone at Microsoft. So
correct.
Yeah, this idea of they're addressing the world, like gamers, investors, Microsoft staff, they're messaging everyone all at once. And so yeah, it's going to be a little muddy, I would say.
Yep. Her last one was the future of play, where she says we need to invent new models. Sean, I'm going to give you a little spoiler here. I think that's why she's here. She says we're going to invent new models, new ways to play around our IP portfolio. And then she has the trigger word that got everyone excited, especially giving her background, which is exactly why it's in this statement. She says, we're not going to fill our games with AI slop, says the AI queen, like from within Microsoft. I just felt like that was that's like candid communications. Like, let's give them something to fight back the initial response, the initial reaction of you.
Oh yeah, they know. Yeah,
they know that people are going to go to LinkedIn, see AI, go Microsoft AI, she's AI. So they're like, let's just give a real strong hit back on that.
Yeah, and it's interesting because Satya Nadella and other AI leaders around the world have talked about this. I think Satya specifically has said like, AI is not going to take off if everybody keeps bad mouthing it.
Yeah, I don't think he liked her using that, but I think.
I wonder. I mean, look, it has to be approved, right?
100%, 100%. I think it was in there because they know they needed to be in there.
Sure.
Because if it wasn't in there, imagine what. Like it's already being written, but imagine the extra fervor to which it would be written if they didn't have that one thing for people to respond to.
Here's my sad part about this whole thing is if you believe anything, then AI, not having AI slop, sure, she said it, so it must be true. And it's like, I don't know, man. It's
they say a lot of shit that's not true. They've 100%. Been doing that for years.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have a hard time with that just in general. Again, I don't know this person. I've never heard of her before. It's just the way things have been going with Xbox is like they've been saying a lot of things. So who knows? We'll see.
Just 4 games.
The positives. Yeah.
We're not going to increase the price of Game Pass. We want Bethesda stuff to be exclusive. I mean, how many more do you want?
Yeah, no kidding.
In our Discord kind of latched on AI is such a trigger word. And I reminded everyone, we saw this start, I think, at CES, where Dell was like, no, get AI off our stuff because there's a negative reaction. It's not trendy now to be AI everything. Yeah. And I definitely think with her background, they were like, we got to do something. Mm-hmm. We got to say something or everyone's going to hate this.
Well, they still
Um,
are, but
and
they did
but
their
it
best.
but it softens it.
Yeah, they did their best. Yeah.
They did their job. Communications did their job. Aaron
Sure.
Greenberg
Mhm.
apparently.
That's
I don't
less
know if-
marketing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I think it's comms. That's the super nerdy. Like, actually, marketing and communications are different.
Yeah, not my venue there.
Yeah.
All right. She says her 3 favorite games are Halo, Valheim, and GoldenEye. And then she evoked the return of the Blades dashboard with a very, I don't know, either a quick sentence that she didn't type very well or what is being perceived to be as some sort of AI response.
Why was that one perceived as AI? Like,
Because it's not even like a complete sentence. It's like, should bring dashboards.
oh,
it
that's
sounds-
hilarious.
It's not a complete response.
Oh man. Oh.
So it's a little weird.
It is interesting. I mean, that's pretty bad. I didn't realize it was quite.
Yeah,
It's
if you
funny because
didn't,
I didn't
like-
even catch that.
Of course,
It's funny-
because you see blades and we're like, yeah,
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much.
I did the same thing.
It is interesting, like what people now, like what their surefire, like that's AI things is like the M dash and any emoji,
You can see
and it's
it.
like
There are
apparently it's
patterns.
AI.
There are patterns. You can see it.
Yeah, but I do both. I use emojis and M dashes. I'm like, am I even real? Maybe I'm not real. I don't know.
Or maybe the AI was trained after you.
God help us all, dude.
Let's see here. I'm gonna read you exactly that tweet. She says, where is it?
Should bring back.
It's something
360
like that.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Should bring the blade dashboard. Question mark.
Oh God, that's hilarious. That's so bad.
So Xbox was like, welcome to the team. We're excited about building. And her response was, should bring the blade dashboard.
Oh God. Oh, it's so.
How do you do, fellow kids?
well,
I mean, that's what it screams, right?
you know,
I'm
look,
cool. The blades dashboard.
people
you
have
would
been.
love if you had her in front of you, but like, do you even know what that is?
I know, but like, and this is the proving Nintendo and PlayStation maybe right again, where it's like, oh, we used to have Sean Layden. He'd come out and he's like, hello, and he'd be like one of us, and it's like when it works, yeah, it's great, but when it doesn't work. Maybe just have the CEO, the person in charge, just put them behind a desk and have them
Furukawa.
them do stuff.
Just don't come into the direct. Stay out of this.
Yeah.
Of course. Sarah Bond was a notable absence from most of all of the things that were released to communicate this news, except for one 2-paragraph or 2-sentence remark from Phil Spencer was the only person that mentioned Sarah Bond. She joined Xbox in 2017. She's been the president since 2023. She's most notably credited with helping them get the Call of Duty deal done. She was not mentioned by Asha or Satya. She did mention she didn't have a response that day, but over the weekend she made a post on LinkedIn where she congratulated Asha on the appointment and said that she's worked well with her and all that, and she's moving on. She took a very nice high road, I would think. Probably because there's a nice severance attached to leaving, one president role of Xbox. But she was here, and she really seemed to be the face of this is an Xbox campaign, of which has been written a lot about today from Tom Warren, as you mentioned, where I'm just gonna say it, man. They're making her appear to be the scapegoat. Yeah, I mean, that's just like that Tom Warren article is very clearly one side of the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
That is their side of the perspective. Now, that doesn't mean it's inaccurate, but it is clearly a one-sided view where they're painting her as hard to work with. They even mentioned several longtime employees leaving after working underneath her for less than a year. They do throw the everything is an Xbox at her feet, saying that was her legacy and her initiative, and she's the one that planned that, and even said that it rubbed Xbox employees wrong.
Yeah. Oh, I could believe that.
Yeah, and that there were a lot of people that were really, they said it found it to be disrespectful, to everything that they've done. So she's out. Phil's out. What do you think?
I think that. Well, let me just start with the two of them, Phil
As
and
Dad
Sarah
says
Bond.
during Black History Month.
Oh God. Jesus. I think that there's a lot to be said about our obvious. We don't understand what the difference between those two are. What does it mean to be like a CEO of gaming and then a CEO of Xbox? Like, what is the difference between Phil Spencer and Sarah Bond, or what had been the difference between the two? And so without really knowing that, it is difficult to lay anything at either of their feet. So I will lay, like, without knowing any of that, I kind of lay it at both of their feet, in which case it's super
everyone.
unfair.
So no. Earlier, I'm not absolving Phil Spencer of multi-platform. I admit he was the damn president. It's on his watch.
I know you aren't, but like the way this article is written to say it's her.
Here is that nothing happens at Xbox without all of the says having their say. So before you point the blame at any one, you have to just blame them all. Yes,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
At fault. Sarah Bond's at fault. Guess who else is at fault? Satya Nadella, who just chose the new person to lead it. Guess who else is at fault? Amy Hood, who's the damn chief financial officer.
CFO.
Tim Stewart. They're all like, we've seen it in practice.
Yes.
That way, and people forget it because they're not releasing. They didn't release emails.
Yep.
They all have a hand in what's happening.
100%. And I'll give you another example of this. We'll dust off the history books here.
It's boards.
So guess who was in the room with Don Matrick going, yeah, it's going to be called an Xbox One
100%.
and the Kinect
Phil
is required.
Spencer.
Phil was there, and he addressed that when he jumped on. And he's like, look, you can point to Don Matrick, but I was in the room too. He said that.
I've said it for. I've always said, I don't want to say that. Game Pass was the right decision at the time. Guess what else was the right decision at the time? Kinect.
100%.
People don't give them credit for that. It was a mistake. It was wrong. But if you were in that boardroom looking at the sales data that they were looking at the success of the Wii, you also would have agreed.
Yep.
You would have agreed that you were on the forefront of reaching a new audience and that they were showing up and they were monetizing. It was the right call.
Definitely.
Perhaps, maybe they could have made it less permanent. They could have maybe given themselves a little flexibility, but they went all in on something. And again, they're ran by metrics. I have a personal vendetta. Like, I build dashboards for a living. I work with leaders who have authorities to make calls. I can't tell you how many times I've got on a soapbox with one of these people and said, stop making decisions because you saw a number. Like, understand the situation. Don't just look at the number. Like, everyone clearly wants to go, when we hit 50%, do X. It's like, but you should be more in tune before we hit 50%. You know? So I have like a personal vendetta to that, which I'm probably bringing to this conversation. But Microsoft clearly, and they probably all are, but Microsoft, like, they invented this. like that's what they do for a living. They clearly run this branch of the company that way. Yep. And
no doubt.
I think that's put them in this position for sure.
Yep. Definitely. Yeah. Well, and they just happen to be going up against two just very focused gaming platforms, Nintendo and PlayStation. Just like they never really wavered. The name of the game is the game. That's Nintendo from day one. And it's true. I'm actually, I agree 100%. And I think that was in either the documentary or where did I've read that somewhere, that like the Kinect on 360 was more successful than people have any idea.
Sold crazy amounts. I don't remember what it is, but I want to say it was like, off the top of my head, I want to say it was like 30 or 40 million units.
Nuts.
Like, it was a shit ton. They would kill to sell as many Xbox Series consoles today as they sold Kinects.
100%.
Yeah, no, it was.
It gets lost in part of the conversation for sure. But yeah, it was a little too heavy-handed
because the winners write history.
Yeah, right.
You're right. History is left to the victors. Is
a
sports podcast term that I hear quite often. And yeah, they were wrong. They were wrong, but in that's not because of hindsight.
Yep.
Hindsight, they were correct.
Yep. Well, and it was the trade-off ultimately that killed them. It wasn't that everybody hated Kinect. It came at the cost of, like, it was $100 more and it stole resources away from games.
Yep.
And then half of the messaging was about TV and Skype.
The ultimate part was, I think the market shifted away from them and I've been talking about it in our Discord the last couple of days because I'm afraid. I think at this point right now with what they're doing, I look at what they're doing. I think the market is shifting away from them.
Yeah.
I think they set down a path 10 years ago with Game Pass, an exclusive library, and a Netflix, and a subscription, and they were looking at this digital future, and they were like, "We're going to be ahead of the curve."
Mm-hmm.
And then you go 10 years, and it's like there's real AI fatigue, there's real subscription fatigue. People don't want to so now they're sitting there stuck with this gigantic commitment to this service and what it offers and what it doesn't allow them to offer elsewhere. And I worry like the market for this shifting away from that.
Yeah.
And then what are the ramifications should they choose to try and undo any of it?
I mean, you and I, we have a recorded history on this. The idea of where Game Pass was, what its offerings were at the time, and the decisions to change it, like along the way, it's like there are so many mistimed changes to Game Pass, and whether it was going to be day one, whether it's going to be stuff going to cost you $30 or more, it's like they needed another year to catch up, to like really make it stupid. You have to be an idiot not to subscribe to Game Pass. Like they were almost there. But they needed a little bit more time, and they changed direction, probably 6 months, even maybe a year too early to go. It's either going to cost more, they changed the tiers, or they changed what the day one offerings were. It was like all these things, all these major decisions was like Rise of the Tomb Raider didn't work, or like Starfield didn't quite work. And it's like, you need to set a pattern. You need to set an expectation for people on like what this thing is going to be, not make a decision on one game release. You can't hinge the future of your platform on one game.
Always on the next game.
It was always on the next thing, the one thing. And it was like, you can just see it. Like you're on thin ice, Phil or team or Xbox or whatever it was. And it's like, and if this doesn't go a certain way, then we're completely changing. And it's like, when has that gone well for anyone?
No, it's definitely not gone well for Xbox because that's exactly what they've been doing. That's
every
exactly
single
what's got
time
them here, and what could prove to be disastrous moving forward, like in a major way, in a way we may have never seen before. And I don't want to evoke that quite yet, but I mean, yeah, it's not hard to get there from where we are right now.
It's just there needs to. I've said this forever. There needs to be a vision, and this is to me the number one mission or whatever. The thing that Ashen needs to do is say this is what you can expect and be fucking crystal clear.
So let me ask you for your opinion on that. Do you think they have? I don't think they've gotten off to a good start.
As far as saying like, well, this is what's going to happen.
Yep.
No, but I also don't know if that's appropriate for day one. Goodbye, Phil Spencer and Sarah. Here's now what's going to happen.
If
there's a moment, and it's in June.
Yeah, I hear you. No.
You think it should have been on Friday?
Here's what I'll say. You can have a moment in June, and you'll have attention, some attention anyways. You wouldn't have as much attention as you had Friday. If you were going to change things in a major way, you would have wanted to signal that Friday.
I don't know. I don't even think that they know what that is.
Then why make the move?
Good question. That's a very good question.
If they were going to keep everything exactly the same as it was, they would have just hired Matt Booty to the role.
So that was my argument on Friday on the Xbox trial.
Yeah, but I think I'm going to go in the opposite direction that you're going in. I'm of the. I mean, with
you think she knows exactly what she's going to do with Xbox?
I think they are. I think it's very likely that they have a mandate that that Microsoft has some sort of mandate or vision for Xbox that perhaps Phil and Sarah Bond weren't looking to carry out.
I agree with that. And that's exactly where my hope came from.
But you're saying it's to reverse course, and I'm saying it's the opposite of that.
I don't know which direction it is, actually. But it's something different.
I'm thinking it's in the negative direction.
So
I'm thinking more of I'm thinking of more of like a Phil Harrison type role, where
What do you
we've
mean?
tried this, we've invested into it, it's not working, so now we need someone to come in and rebalance this table in a way that it is sustainable. I'll just say what I mean. Like, I'm scared that we could see a potential of mass closures and exodus at Xbox.
Oof.
Now, I don't think that's what's going to happen. I have a if we ran Xbox question here at
Nice.
the kind of at the bottom of my stuff, where I kind of want to go. I want to ride that fence a little. I want to go a little bit of both ways. But generally speaking, I don't think this is good. Like, I'm not very positive on this at all, because one, let's just, from a bird's eye level, remove all the conjecture and fluff. We have a non-Xbox, non-gaming person coming in to run Xbox from AI by the AI company. Like, so just those are facts of the matter. That doesn't sound great. Like, boiled down like that. I think so many things, so many tangents. When you're talking about Game Pass, because I do want to ask, I wrote down, what do we think this means for Game Pass? We don't have to answer that right now, but I'm going to use that to kind of paint a little picture on where I'm about to go with this. I was totally on board with Game Pass until Bethesda, because in its version, what I call 1.2, because the very first version was just PlayStation Plus. It was a bunch of games and a bunch of old games, right? I didn't care about Game Pass its first year. I don't think many people remember that.
Yeah.
The first Game Pass announcement was like a nothing burger.
Yep.
People were like, yeah, nobody wants that. Move on.
Xbox Live was around for that, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, we covered that.
The second Xbox, the Game Pass a year later, was like day one game. I was like, oh shit, now we're on to something.
Yeah. Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, State of Decay.
You've heard me say this 100,000 times, but in the back of my head, I'm always thinking that we have brand new listeners, never heard us
Sure.
before. I have always contended that, given their sales and their position at the time and how centrally focused they were on like 4 very core brands, that I always thought Game Pass was like sneaky genius, because essentially you were going to sell people Gears and Halo. They're going to buy that anyway. But if you get them into Game Pass for those games, they're basically subsidizing the other games that nobody wanted to buy, that nobody would buy. Recore, Crackdown, like, they had an ongoing slot of these games come out for 4 years that did nothing, sold nothing, nobody cared. They had that I don't know if it was before or after, so I'll just omit that, but that was a thing for a while. State of Decay, like, they weren't selling those games.
Yep.
So essentially Game Pass was a way to subsidize those games, which I have always been like, this is genius accounting.
I agree.
Just incredibly genius accounting.
I completely agree.
So smart.
Yep. I was right there too.
And I was so on board the day we woke up and found they bought Bethesda. I have in so many ways always associated Bethesda as a PC company, which I know that's what they are, but in the console space, somewhat more aligned with Xbox.
Yep.
When I played Doom on Xbox, and I played Oblivion and Elder Scrolls on Xbox, and I'm not saying everybody did, but Todd Howard was on the Xbox stage a lot.
Yep.
Like, dudes were around.
Yep.
So I was like, this is a perfect space for them to be in. And I thought the whole idea was to buy real console exclusives for Game Pass.
There it is.
Like, that was the whole plan.
Yep.
And we saw it, I want to say, almost immediately after they bought them. Bethesda didn't want that. Pete Hines didn't want that. It didn't sound like their developers wanted that. And I was like, uh-oh. And then we started to see, like, well, this might be exclusive, that it may be, but this one isn't, but this one is for now, but then maybe.
Yeah.
And I was like, now it's unraveling. Like, again, conviction. No, Phil, you said on the couch when you bought Bethesda, you said this is about adding exclusive content, not to Xbox.
There it is.
But to Game Pass. And I know you remember this. Back in that moment in time, I was like, Game Pass is the console.
100%.
Like, fuck the hardware. What are you even talking?
And this
Game
is it.
Pass is the console. This is the play now.
How many decisions were made very shortly after that? It's like you didn't even give that one a shot. Like,
because
that is the
got
right
mad
move.
and they pulled the plug, and I was like, no,
yeah,
no,
man.
don't.
Yeah, like, this was it. This because they turned into transactional, like trying to sell units rather than investing in the platform, Xbox or Game Pass. And I know it's easy for people to go, oh well, yeah, like hindsight is 2020. It's like, no, we were saying that in the moment as it was happening. It's like it's the
Like the day
wrong
of.
move. And I think this is again where the Rise of the Tomb Raider like just rears its ugly head. It's like, oh man, that didn't really work out for us. People were mad, and it's like you just gotta ride it out, man.
The point you were making, the point we've both made at nauseum, is that they just never had the conviction to ride it out.
Ride it out.
To
Yes.
see it through, and they never would.
Mhm.
And that was the day when they started playing those games. That was the year Game Pass died.
Well,
And
they had a very we have to address something that really was also coloring the decision making here. They bought Mojang. They bought Minecraft, which was everywhere.
everywhere,
And it really
It
had
was
been
too
working
big to
out pretty
not
well
be.
for them. What?
and was too big to not be.
Totally. So like they've got this precedent that had been set by like they purchased this thing.
That's what Pete
It didn't
Hines
really
was saying.
damage too much. They were, but the problem is, and it's like you guys are missing a pretty important piece to this, is nobody connected Minecraft with Xbox ever,
Yep.
even now, and even them. Like how long did it take for even Minecraft to go into Game Pass?
Mhm.
I don't even know if it's in Game Pass, and like in some cases on PC or whatever it is. So it's like these analogies, these things that are equal that actually aren't equal, that are used to set precedent for the future decision making. It's like, oh my god, you guys, like way to screw this up. Would it have been like, should we play this out? You buy Bethesda, you make Doom, you make Starfield, whatever future Elder Scrolls, whatever else has come out, you make that exclusive to Xbox. Like what happened? I really feel like PlayStation starts to get on their heels. And yeah, people might not like that, but I don't know, dude. There's a lot of
And when
other
they-
things that
When
PlayStation
they
has
bought
done.
them, PlayStation still had timed exclusives.
That's what
They
that
had
was going to be my next
Ghostwire,
point.
and
That's
they had
exactly what I was going to
Deathloop,
say.
and-
Mhm.
Yeah.
Like that's the game that PlayStation
So
was.
we were waiting on old ports of the Bethesda games to come to Game Pass, and in between that time, they just pulled the plug on Bethesda into Game Pass.
Yeah.
So then they go more content. They ended up buying Call of Duty. We know how that act plays out, but that none of that worked. I was totally on board with Game Pass until the Bethesda moment, and that's when I was like, "Uh-oh." So I see somebody coming in, and the people that orchestrated all that, I see somebody is coming in potentially just to dismantle any of that, or not dismantle seems so negative. I think Satya, like I read a lot into the word. I'm giving a lot of credit to his sentence about growing platforms and finding new avenues to reach players. Like
Sure.
I see her and her background, and I'm worried about ads. I'm worried about free tiers. I'm worried about what I would call, and this is from my traditionalist point of view, I see her as disruptive to the Xbox state of things. And I don't think it's in the traditional sense. I think it's in perhaps a even more extreme sense.
Maybe, and none of those things seem new to me though. Like the thing that excites me, I guess, on the opposite end of it is like when I think of Xbox, it's like, yeah, they were bold in creating new ways, and I've been lamenting this for a while. It's like when was the last time you saw something like achievements show up or Xbox Live show up? Like this social, like online gaming, like the Xbox introduced a lot of this stuff that really did come from PC into like even Halo itself, just first person shooters, aside from GoldenEye,
That was
wasn't really a thing.
That was the whole pitch.
That when I think of like, you know, the future of playing or even the return of Xbox, I actually kind of think of those things,
But what
which
would
to me
those
is
things
exciting.
be?
I don't know, and that's why I get excited.
Unless you're making a pitch for some AI thing, I don't think that exists. And
But
the
like,
reason,
but isn't that the point? Like, were you ever asking for, oh man, I wish my console had like an online connectivity?
the difference being, or the context that I would add is that this is a mature, healthy,
That's true.
established market now.
That's true. Yep.
It's not ripe for disruption. Like if you want to see disruption as a video game space with that Xbox energy, look at the next Playground that just wiped the sales charts with Xbox this last Christmas quarter. Did you see that thing? The Kinect thing? There's this child console that's made for kids, this Android-based console that outsold the Xbox on Christmas. There's all these articles written about it. And it's a Kinect. It's a little cube you put in your TV that does the camera, and you play little motion games.
Oh my god!
And it outsold Xbox
That's crazy.
in December. That lower end, like maybe a streaming stick, maybe like I see like something like that is potentially disruptive. But in terms of enter the market and change how this whole thing, like I think you could do that in 2001. I don't know if that opportunity exists in 2027.
I mean, does this is where maybe exclusives enter the ring back again?
The Steam Deck was disruptive, but not financially viable.
Yeah.
You know, a ton of influence, but has it changed? Like not much.
No, and it's a follower, by the way. Like the Switch was the disruptor.
Of course.
And then the rest came along. Like what you'd love to be able to say, maybe $1 trillion company can be as inventive as Nintendo.
I think that you're right, but there is a difference between the Switch and the Steam Deck, just in influence in that way. We've had portables before. So the Switch is not like inventive for being a portable, but for being hybrid.
For being both.
Right. But the Steam Deck just added a whole new medium to an existing library. And I think that is maybe just the trick. It's not really talked about in that way, but that's the difference. And I think that's very different than what the Switch did, at least in its own.
For sure. I'm just saying it doesn't even enter the conversation without the Switch.
100%.
Like there's no Steam Deck before.
Yeah, spot
like
on.
Nobody's asking for a hybrid like that, or maybe they didn't think it was possible.
We all agree that the Steam Deck super influential. We've talked about it for 5 years, right? So like that is kind of that renegade energy, but like. I feel like that was pretty impactful and at the same time made not a dent in this industry at all. And that's what I mean by this is a very mature, concrete industry now.
Yep. Yeah.
You know, I feel like if that innovation was out there, I think we would have found it by now.
Sure. Yeah.
Not that things can't change, of course. Like there's always new. I think the innovation comes from better efficiency, cheaper creations, things like that.
Sure.
That's what we've seen with Fortnite and Roblox. That is innovation and that's disruptive.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you disrupt like the market, the industry.
Well, so and this line of thinking can be taken to an extreme and in a negative way, but like listen to the conversations that are happening around gaming right now, and they're not very positive, and they're tied to sort of like the economic environment that we find ourselves in. It's like it's never been more expensive to get into gaming, and there's all these barriers and blah 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 blah. And it's like that would be an interesting angle to approach. And
a streaming stick would make a lot of sense,
wouldn't it? Though,
yeah.
This is where I think Jez was writing about this as well, and somebody else as well. It's not a totally original thought, but it's like, yeah, RAM shortages and hardware. Like it's really expensive to have your own individual hardware in your own home. Like cloud gaming could be.
There is a war being waged on local compute across the industry, and that's not a gaming thing.
Yeah, right.
Like that's a computing thing. Now, the problem with
visionary like future shit.
The problem with gaming in that way is the market doesn't want cloud compute.
Exactly.
That is well established.
The
market that is spending right now rejects that.
Yep.
So therein lies the rub.
Yep.
Like you could go full cloud at the detriment of yourself in the short term.
Mm-hmm.
And do they have the wherewithal to withstand that? Well, the track record is not great.
Well, again, and we're getting into all the tangential stuff that like is anything but talking about the games. And I'm not like, I get this is where they would be thinking. Games. It's like, oh, what other angle can we attack this from? It's like, oh, is it cloud gaming to try and make it cheaper? Is it we're going to be on everything? And it's like, well, we're still like we're getting so far away from how do we make the next X title like the greatest thing that anybody has ever played? And that does so much heavy lifting on this front.
It is a shame that nobody once has been like, we need to go make we need 3 Game of the Years in a row. Like it's like
totally
that would really go a long way. Guys.
Like Gears E-Day, like just blows us all away.
It's just incredible.
Yeah. What if
Forza just lights? It's just on fire. It's so damn good. Fable is the next Breath of the Wild. You know, like that would get
and like wouldn't that have been amazing for Phil to be there for Fable to become fully realized?
And maybe he will be.
Well, and we'll find out.
I would like to see
The
him
future of
swan
Xbox
song.
depends on Fable being
I'm not
great.
going to lie to you. I would really love to see Phil hang the hat up with like 9.4 Fable review scores.
Well, he's already gone, so
Well, he said he's
Too late.
staying through the end of the year.
yeah, but it's not the same.
Yeah,
He's
I
not
know.
the head of Xbox.
Yeah, but he. You know,
I know what you're saying, but it doesn't count.
I think he's steered Fable their way.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned a few times. So I think the vibe that I'm picking up on you, and you did share this in our Discord, or at least as a hey, hear me out, crazy thought. What if we go back? So I did write down, and I really wrote this down for Phil Defense Force, as I'll name myself for this show. You know, a lot of people look at multi-platform and they lay that at Phil's feet, and so I wrote down the following. Remember that Satya on Under Oath said that he has no love for console exclusives and wish they could compete without them across the industry.
Yeah.
He says the Microsoft's philosophy is to put software on more platforms, not fewer. That's the Microsoft he grew up in. That's the Microsoft he believes. And that internal philosophy is, again, we've seen been backed by all the executives at Microsoft above Xbox.
Yeah.
So if we're going back to the way it used to be, if that's a potential outcome, why hire Asha?
So where you go with that maybe is like Microsoft makes one of the Xbox consoles, and that they are developing some sort of OS that a console could be made by Panasonic or
Lenovo,
Hitachi, like whoever
Dell,
wants
yeah.
to. Toshiba. I don't even know what companies are still around these days, man. Like, has everybody gone out of business? That's one line of thinking that could be. I don't know if I
When you
buy
say
it
they
or
make
not.
an OS, are you thinking something different than Windows?
I think it
'Cause I
could
think
be.
they clearly want that just to be Windows. It's almost like Windows seems to be absorbing Xbox. Really seems to be what maybe seismically is happening.
Again, I can see why Microsoft would do it. I could see them doing it. I don't think that would work. I disagree entirely with that, especially if, you can't get very far down that road before people go like, why do I have OneDrive and Teams as part of my Xbox
Copilot.
startup? Like, it's the same thing that we just went through with the ROG Ally X.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that. There's your test base.
The reason I have a Mac.
Right.
I haven't even
get the
thought
hell
about
away
Windows.
from that.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about Windows since I made this decision.
I wish that they could appreciate the distinction that is allowed through Xbox. It's your one way where like Microsoft can be cool. Like it's valuable to have different approaches, different like faceplates for different like versions of Windows. It doesn't
You
have to
almost wish
be the
that
same.
You'd almost wish that Microsoft would, at their own detriment, run Xbox like as a passion project. That would
that's how it started.
That would get them further along than
Right.
running it like a Microsoft business.
Right.
Yeah. This is why I don't like the idea of Microsoft effect coming to run. Like, I don't see this with a very positive light.
Sure. When it's a whole like, well, these two things are the same, so we're going to do it like that. And it's like, it's not the same. It's not Windows, because Windows has Steam installed on it. And it's like, why don't you see
I feel like
that?
I've always thought, I always say that. I've thought this for some time now. I think the good guy Xbox Play is to integrate with Steam. Like, it's right there for the taking. Just integrate your service and your games and like work more with, like, they're the leader on your platform. There's hands to be shook here. Like, there is something in it for Valve and there is something in it for Microsoft.
I don't get that play at all. I don't think I understand it. I don't know if I get it.
They're trying to build a PC platform without Steam. And my point of contention is that I feel like Steam is so ubiquitous with that's an impossible task to do.
I totally agree.
So if you're talking about Satya's remarks about, I have no love for exclusivity, I want to put more software ever, then integrate with Steam.
Yeah,
Integrate
but, like, how?
Xbox
What does that mean?
Live with Steam. Integrate Game Pass with Steam. Give
Steam doesn't
players
need-
the choice.
Yeah, I don't know. Steam doesn't need any help. I don't know where the benefit to Steam is. Like, I don't know where Gabe. What?
Windows support, just general customer support, library support.
Yeah,
I don't
think
know.
They say thanks. No,
I mean,
no thanks.
A lot of when we talk about projecting what Xbox will do with a hybrid console or a PC space 10 years, 15 in the future, you just can't help but come back to the gigantic Valve-sized elephant in the room
Yep.
that everyone's like talking around like it doesn't matter. When we've literally see companies giving away millions of dollars of software to make up zero ground in that space.
Right.
To do nothing, to make no dent in that space at all.
So like,
So
why
fight the inevitable?
Well, why fight it at all? Like, why even be in that battleground? Like, why even be there?
That's also a good point.
Why even be there?
But that's their play. Like they have more or less attempted with their future plan signal and the work they've done so far. We could concretely say that they are mid, if not failed, attempt to shift their console market to PC.
Right. And here's something I wanted to talk to you about, which is the Play Anywhere thing. It isn't working. It's not there yet. It's like 60% of the way. It's not even 60%. It's like 40% of the way there. It's like a couple of games that work in both places. And so this is a major failure point in the plan. It's like they're not, you can't say play games everywhere.
I have years long arguments with D-Life and stuff where they're like, oh, it'll be the same. Nobody can. I'm like, I can't play Fable 2 on my PC.
Yeah.
Like, I know that's an example that proves the theory wrong, but like as a lifelong, as a 20-year Xbox customer, that's an immediate deal breaker for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of why I'm here. And I know that doesn't exist for every game, but to your point, it exists for more games than it needs to.
Yeah.
And if I can't do it, then what are we doing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know
like it all needs to work. There doesn't need to be exceptions. It just needs it just needs to be It just needs to be.
Oddly enough, that's kind of like why I think Kinect failed in a lot of ways. It's like, if it doesn't work all the time, then like just don't even bother.
Good point.
I'm sitting there screaming Xbox on 100 times,
Snap
and it's
that,
like
nothing happens, and then I try to move the controller, then it snaps, and
don't even bother. So yeah, it's it's fun to, and we've got lots of different threads that we can pull on here. To me, it's as simple as make great games, make them exclusive to your platform. I know nobody wants to hear that. I know Satya doesn't like it, but Satya, I'm sorry to say, man.
He's the one that signs the checks, though.
What's that?
He's the one that signs the checks, though.
I understand that. It's just, well, you won't be signing checks for that much longer. It's just like it's he's signing the death warrant for it too.
I'm here at the end of my bullet points. Now we can just kind of open up and just opine. But I wrote down, if we ran Xbox ... So is that your hope here? That's the plan. Is we're going back to exclusives, console exclusives, everything first party.
I think
at
so.
Least for a limited time,
and you ride that for a generation.
You'd have to. So that was my immediate response to you, because I've had this conversation with Rude as well. He said that earlier. He was talking about Call of Duty, and I was like, you would immediately tank Call of Duty's value.
Yeah,
I'm totally fine if that's the plan. I'm here for that plan. I'm not backing away. I said that 5 years ago.
Yep.
I'm here for the plan. I just don't think they are.
Yeah.
Because you have to be willing to take enormous losses up front. That is an expensive plan. What I said or told to our Discord today, that's Steve Ballmer's plan.
Right.
Because he wanted to win.
Let's talk about what I mean by exclusives too. And this people might go, oh, he's talking out of both sides of the mouth, like whatever. I don't see PC and Xbox like day and date as a problem. Okay. So when I say like exclusive, I mean console exclusive. So you can still sell Call of Duty
we're going back
on
to 2018.
Steam. Yeah. You can still sell it on Steam. You can sell it on take your pick on the PC.
We're day and date on PC
marketplace.
And console hardware.
It's a console exclusive. You're not getting it on PlayStation.
On PC, is it an Xbox PC exclusive, or is it coming to Steam and stuff?
I think you go on Steam. I think this is where the benefit of Steam being ubiquitous with Windows gaming.
Yeah.
I think, and this is, we'll never get this. Like, this is, if I ran Xbox, there's no way Xbox is ever going to do this. But you sell it on every...
The move is to buy Steam. I'm sorry, I'm not going to lie to you, but like that's where I was going a minute ago before we tangented off.
Gotcha.
If you look at what Xbox is attempting to do based off where they come from and you rewind the
Can you
tape,
imagine?
this has all been a giant fuckery around of
I see.
not enabling Gabe Newell to do this from the
Dude,
get-go.
That is so funny.
And
That's
it's
so
been
funny.
there the whole time. Like,
And it's so untouchable in my mind.
games for Windows. Like the move to have made for the last 25 years at any point along the way was to have bought Steam.
God help us all.
It would have made way more sense if they bought Steam instead of Call of Duty. Now,
Ugh.
I don't want them to buy Steam at all. Based
Sure.
on their track record, like, please.
That's why I'm not even able to respond, because I'm just like, that's why I said God help us all.
But you do wish, I wish that they would at least realize Steam's position and just work with them as opposed to against them.
Well, and that's so maybe my
Because it's
version of
Windows.
that is maybe my
Because it's-
version of that is just sell it on Steam, sell it on like that's the PC move, is just to
Yeah.
sell your games
Empower
on someone
Steam.
else's.
Instead of
Yeah.
competing with Steam, empower Steam.
Well, you
Bring
give 'em-
cloud gaming to Steam.
Yeah.
Sell Steam
Mm.
Windows. Like, there's so much there that they're not doing because they want to own it. I get it.
Yeah.
But you're going to lose that fight.
Right. So that's why I say, like, don't even touch it.
Yeah,
That's
it's
why, like,
100 years war. You're
who
going to lose
can
that
you
fight.
win against? Can you win against Steam? Probably not. But can you win
Sean,
against PlayStation? Like, I actually
I
think
love
you
this.
probably could.
I hear this because I've been saying this for like years. I've been telling the Xbox fans in our community, like, who do you want to fight with?
Right.
Like, did you walk out of the ring with PlayStation, decide
Oh.
to get in the ring with Steam?
I've said the exact same
You've
thing.
walked
Like,
into the wrong ring.
I've said the exact same thing. Like, is there anything more ubiquitous than Steam? And
No.
and the proof is in there. Epic is giving us games.
They own the
Nobody
greatest
gives
game
a
in the
rip.
world, and nobody cares.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean. Like, don't even bother. So exclusivity on consoles. Now let's itemize here a little bit, and like let's just see how we feel about this. We'll get to Call of Duty, but
I
like,
have a good spin on this that I think you're going to agree with. Is probably where
Okay.
you're going with this.
go for
Go.
it. No, you go.
Sure? I don't wanna
What
steal
is
your
your spin?
thunder.
Nope. Let's do it.
All right. So I wrote down if we ran Xbox ... and I said this is my attempt to make it work. I don't think this is what's going to happen. I think Xbox is going third party. I think this is a long, slow march to Xbox being Sega. I think we've been there. I think we're still there. Nothing that they've said has changed my mind that that's what's happening. But if I was to try and get it back, right? If I was to try and get it back, if they walked to me, if Sadia woke up and said, you know what, I'm going to be Steve Ballmer today, and I want to fucking win, Donnie, what do we need to do?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my pitch to restore Xbox to its former glory. As she says, recenter on Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
I think you spin out Microsoft Gaming and Xbox as different brands. I think you split the studios. I think you can easily draw which ones go where. The Microsoft Gaming brands are the brands that are bigger than Xbox. And
Right.
they're the brands that are fucking up everything Xbox is doing because they're bigger than Xbox. Minecraft is bigger than Xbox. Call of Duty is bigger than Xbox.
Yep.
So you take those brands and you put them in Microsoft Gaming. They're managed by a different division. It's Microsoft Gaming, it's Windows focused, but it's console, it's everything.
Yep.
Then you take another set of Xbox studios and you move them to Xbox. It's not the ubiquitous Windows gaming division. It is strictly a play at console video game market. You no longer talk about Xbox on PC because that's Microsoft Gaming. That's games for Windows. Like they'll handle that. They'll distribute through Steam and everything. Xbox goes back to being a console centric business that has core brands associated with it. I think you take Bethesda and Xbox core studios, you park them there as exclusives, and you retry to build a console market.
Yeah. So exclusive as in not on PC or Xbox and PC?
If you want to build a console market, they need to be exclusive. And that means you've got to be willing to eat mud.
So Starfield not on PC, Starfield only on Xbox.
Yeah. And Elder Scrolls 2, unless you move them to the Microsoft thing. And I think there's a case that you split Bethesda up. Some go and some don't. Microsoft Gaming, you get Doom, you get Elder Scrolls, you get Call of Duty, you get Minecraft, Sea of Thieves. These are Microsoft Gaming brands. They're everywhere.
Interesting.
You take the other ones, Halo, Forza, Gears, Ninja Theory, Obsidian, you throw them over at Xbox and they're exclusive to Xbox forever.
Yeah, it's very interesting. I like this. I think it falls apart a little bit in deciding what goes where and the impact of
You need the
consumer
chart.
confusion.
You need the graph up front.
Well, and that's just it. So it's like, wait a minute, this is better. But I like the nuance. I like
you need
the
to get
idea of like,
design in the
mhm.
graphic design. Get him in Canva. He's got
Yeah,
a lot
exactly.
of logos to make. But
Yeah, what's his name? Clobriel or whatever. There's yeah,
that's the best spin I can try and throw on this.
sure.
My fear is that they do this, but they literally sell off Xbox. That's the fear.
Yeah.
Is that they split this up in a Ubisoft like fashion where they're like, we're going to
Mhm.
take the cool stuff and get rid of the old stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that might be there might be some truth to that.
Yeah. I wonder, like, Minecraft really fucks things up here, doesn't it?
What drives this for me, and then I say Microsoft gaming, I actually think Windows gaming might be a better way. What drives a lot of this for me is an anxious phobia that I have that I'm on board with Xbox's new path to be third party. Like I'm so on board with it, but
Why?
when they want to be multi-platform, I just think given where they are now, like in this moment, it's the best thing for them. Because as much as I would love for them to just light money on fire and go the other way and Steve Ballmer this shit, they're not. I don't think anyone actually thinks they're going to do that. I don't think they're going to eat the hundreds of millions, if not billions. I think billions that it would cost to do that. Because here's the thing. They wake up tomorrow and they're like, you know what? All that stuff we said, we're sorry. Fable's not exclusive. The reaction to that is enormous. And it's negative. And I don't think many people come back. That's
Yeah.
the sad part.
So
The part
I think
is people have
everything that's
already,
been announced,
people
you
have already
must.
left.
You must do what you like have
I've
announced.
seen that too. But then the question is, so you're going to ship Halo, Gears, and Fable and then change?
Yeah.
That's the worst time to change.
Mm.
Because then what are you holding back? State of Decay? Well, you're really going to light up the console market with
I
that.
mean, we got into this
know?
last time, but it's like they've closed down a quadruple A quote unquote studio. Like they've done some pretty crazy stuff. And to my point earlier about like this is such a significant marker in the journey, this is the one and only time. If you're gonna do something batshit crazy,
Yeah,
like
you're right.
straight up cancel
No, you're right.
Halo campaign evolved, it's now.
They're not going to do that.
They're probably
We all know.
probably
Yeah, we just
not.
know that's not going to happen. So that's the thing. I love it. And it's been in our Discord and I've seen it online and I would love for them to be like, fuck this. We're making Xbox great again. I'm like, yeah, let's go. This is fun again. But
Mhm.
I just don't think this Microsoft leadership, this shareholder driven entity of the personality isn't there to make that decision anymore.
Yeah.
I can't see that being actual reality with Satya still there, with
Mhm.
Amy Hood still there, with Tim, like without a gigantic shakeup at the corporate level. I can't imagine that they would empower Xbox to just do that.
I want to ask them and
Hey,
really
I'm
get
sorry.
into
Because it hurts their own studios.
what do you mean?
To pull Forza back is now to alienate all of the millions of people that just bought Forza on PlayStation that you've set up to buy the next Forza.
But it's in the interest of
100%
renewing.
it is.
Like, so what? You piss off PlayStation people. You've been pissing off
100%.
Xbox people for years.
But the difference is you have no Xbox people left.
Yeah.
So here's the thing.
This is where I was going to get to.
You have
Yeah.
already shot yourself in one foot. So the solution can't be to shoot the other foot you have.
Mm.
And that's you could make Call of Duty exclusive and sell some consoles, but it's going to crater Call of Duty's value.
I think that's the thing that's happening here is everything is like a big swing one way or the other. And it's like there is always a middle ground to be had here. And you and I have a chat about this. I think even on PSVG, when I've been on every once in a while, it's like, wasn't there maybe an intent to try to illustrate to PlayStation people, there are good games over here.
Mm.
And is there a way to do that without cratering the value of your
Timed
brand?
exclusivity.
That's time, and that's timed exclusivity.
And you're not selling until you win back market share.
Right.
You're losing game sales.
Right.
Because even if timed exclusive, they're not going to sell the same.
Yeah.
Game comes out a year later, it's not going to sell the same.
Yeah. So like, I was thinking about like how do they define like one of their customers, and right now they're just like anybody who plays any of their games, and it's too broad.
It's very funny, Sean. Today I'm gonna go pull this up and read it to you because it's very funny. Earlier today, I was asking people just kind of like macro big projection thoughts in our Discord about Xbox, and TPR came in and was like, I just don't want them to cater to these Xbots that they've been catering to, during the Phil era. I think a lot of what you're talking to, like these people, they have such a voice, such an influence on the steer of the brand. I don't want Xbox to cater to this. And then I asked what I thought was a really profound question. Then who do they cater to? Like, right. I hear you don't want to cater to Clobril and crew.
Yep.
But who do they cater to?
Yep.
Because right now, they're kind of catering to so many people.
Mm-hmm.
They cater to, like, those diehards, those are the people that'll come back to the hardware first.
Yep.
Those are the people you have the most chance to get them back immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not catering to them, are you catering to the PlayStation 5 and Switch crowd? Because I don't think they're coming back. And they're the ones that want what you're doing now. Like, no, just give me the games.
This is it. It's what is the cost of getting people back in your ecosystem, and what does that actually mean?
It's enormously expensive. Probably tenfold today than it was 5 years ago.
Well, it always is. This is the 10 times more to acquire a new customer than it is to retain one, and they've just been shipping people out the door.
Yep.
And so, yeah, there's a big choice to be made on, like, are you back into customer acquisition? And truly, what does it mean to have acquired a customer? Their definition of that is way too broad. There are metrics of like people are playing X number of hours.
PlayStation users as monthly active users. Like, dude, they just bought your game. They're shoveling money into PlayStation, not
exactly.
you.
Yeah, it's not okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, I wrote down like all these different, like you've got the PC gamer and the PC platform. You've got the cloud gaming enthusiasts and the mobile, and you're trying to reach all of them while simultaneously not doing anything for any one of them.
Right.
You're not really going in on any of them. And that's the part that I have I wouldn't say disagree, because I honestly, I don't know. I think this has set an opportunity for them to do a lot of different things, and I don't know where they're going to go. But I have a hard time believing that backwards is the direction forward, even though it's what I would like them to do. I just don't think they have the stomach for it. I don't think they're willing to. I think right now, if I was in the boardroom and they were like, how do we get Xbox back? What I would tell Satya is you've got to treat this like you never had Xbox to begin with. You are now launching the Xbox brand 1.0.
100%.
Because I feel like that's where they're starting from today.
Yep. Yeah.
Everything they've done for 25 years, they've just lit on fire.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to be Activision or Sega? Or do you want to be Nintendo and PlayStation?
Yeah.
Because if you want to be Nintendo and PlayStation, it's going to cost you billions of dollars.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're going to agree to that.
Yeah, well, it's all margins based, right? It all gets down to trying to cover the costs that like the overhead, all the people involved, all the costs to make these games. That's what's ballooning all of this so far out of control. That's why it's unsustainable. That's why everybody talks about some sort of burst coming out here. Is it costs too much. So you have to sell enough. So all of a sudden, like your strategy and your vision can be totally changed, because it's like, well, we're just trying to cover costs here. And that's why Nintendo's able to do what Nintendo does, because it doesn't cost them trillions of dollars to make a Mario game, or maybe 100%. That's a bad example, but a Kirby game, or like whatever.
Even Yoshi Breath of the Wild is probably pales in comparison to what it's spent on Halo.
100%. Yeah. Like, so nobody's going to be having that conversation, surely. Like, let's get a handle on these ballooning costs. Let's just try and sell our units wherever we can.
This is my fear. My fear, since they've gone the multi-platform route, which I'm on board with. I think they're a good position to be a gigantic publisher. And if that's what they want to do, is great. I think it'd help. I think it would be more helpful to them if they would embrace that. Mm-hmm. Like this half in, half out, I don't think it's doing them any favors.
Yep.
But my fear is, I don't think it's actually a fear. I think it's a reality. The reality of that future is that a lot of studios will close because they can't support what they have on games alone. What that means is we'll see what we saw Activision do.
That's why Tango closed. Who else did they close? Tango, and who was Arcane
Austin.
Yeah.
So they'll rally around the ones that outperform, and they'll shutter the ones that don't.
Yeah.
And that's a very bleak, scary thought to have at Xbox because you see a lot of brands and a lot of value there. That's why I wonder if a spinoff is potentially. I wonder in 5 years now if we hear of Xbox selling to someone.
Yeah,
Spinning
it's
out,
funny.
selling. I don't know what that would look like. Maybe a subsidiary, but something to detach themselves from Microsoft's way of thinking.
Right.
I think that's what's necessary if you want to try and rebuild Xbox.
Maybe some sort of crazy court order will come down. It could have happened from the FCC thing with the Activision. Just like you gotta split apart. You can't have this much ownership over the whole dang thing. But
is there anyone out there that you would feel good buying Xbox?
No, no, I really don't.
I couldn't find it. I couldn't think of anything either, and that makes me think that the more I've read this news and chewed on these statements and these thoughts, I can't help but the only real future I see is a lot of studios being closed.
Sure, yeah,
and it's kind of like either way.
Yeah, one way or the other, it's kind of the same.
I feel like
same outcome.
They're way too bloated, and they have a lot of content that made sense for Game Pass diversity built off the backs of Halo and Forza and Gears.
Yeah,
and now that content doesn't make sense there next to Call of Duty and Minecraft.
Yeah,
some of it does, but a lot of it doesn't.
Hang on, let me back it up again. I want Gabe Newell to buy Xbox.
That's one thought that that's the only thought I could really come to is and I don't think he'd buy Xbox, but I could see him buying. They don't really have first party. They're a very tight company. They don't have a lot of employees.
I know.
Like,
and
them
to Yarden's
scaling
point,
to thousands,
who could afford that? 100%.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It
but
just doesn't sound possible.
He's one of the last remaining sort of shepherds of this sort of thing.
The only thing I could think of is like a retired or exec gets some capital, somebody to believe in them and invest in them.
Some capital too. They own Activision Blizzard.
Yeah, I know
that they bought for $69 billion alone.
I don't think Call of Duty is the one on the block.
Yeah,
I think Call of Duty is an establishment that stays, like Minecraft. Like they're not. That's a money maker.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I
think they're going to start to split and divvy up, and I could see the have-nots being.
Oh, this is dire. Oh, I hate this.
I don't think I don't know that I'm right, but I definitely didn't look at all of this with like any renewed sense that they're going to have consoles be the center of their pitch and exclusives. And I think that idea is going to cost them too much money. That cost them that. And when I've seen a lot of people talk about and speculate about that, but I haven't seen anyone mention the realities of that decision.
Right.
Like it's a cool thing to say. It makes you want to grab your Xbox controller and be like, yeah. But it's like the ramifications of that in reality is at a time when they've just lit billions on fire to do more.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's not how businesses like that are run.
Yeah, that's true.
Businesses like this are ran like that's a sinking ship. Let's get off it.
Well, and so let's play this out a little bit as well. I was going to go here before. The reason where this actually starts to fall apart is you think about what games become exclusive and does it help you achieve your mission of like taking the console market back over again? And even though they've purchased $69 billion publisher over here and $7 billion publisher over there, and they've got all these different studios, I still don't believe that they have in their stable a reliable game of the year maker year after year after year, and that's really what it's going to take. You can have exclusives. They've had exclusives. That would be the actual problem here. Is like, okay, so you have exclusives again. What are the games? There's Halo Infinite. It's like, well, that wasn't the one to do it.
I think PC hurts, but if they factored in Call of Duty, if they ran a console for 10 years where every one of their software was exclusive to it, it'd sell.
Sure, but this is the wrong year to do it. It's like, we'll
call
it the stock on Call of Duty couldn't be
It's
lower.
a quantity over quality type argument, but if you give me an annual Call of Duty every year and you let me mix in a Gears and a Forza and you let me add on to that, then I think at the end of a generation, they have enough software that people will buy something to play. But I think people are going to call that bluff. Like you're going to say it's exclusive, and I think people are not going to buy it because they don't believe you. They're like, what if we don't buy it? They'll change their mind.
Sure. Yeah.
I think that'll be the initial response to that plan.
Right.
So do they have it within them just to stomach it for 3 or 4? I don't think so. Like, what evidence is there that they're willing to do any of that?
Yeah.
None.
I mean, nothing.
None. Now, D-Life, my favorite Xbot these days, he says, what if this new lady is the one that takes Game Pass to other consoles? Having Game Pass on Switch would be amazing. Those are the sorts of things I think of when she talks about identifying new ways to play. I'm seeing ad-supported tiers. I'm seeing I'm seeing third party.
Yeah. I mean, how anybody can want that. Does Nintendo want Game Pass on Switch? Like,
Sure.
I don't think they want any part of that. Like, why would they open that up? They're fine.
Mm-hmm.
It would
Yeah.
have to be very compelling financially for them, and I just don't see that happening. It's
It
a
would
good
have
idea.
to be. It would have to be either cloud and or probably like first party games.
It would absolutely have to be cloud.
Oh, maybe in Switch's case, but it would have to be like first party Game Pass,
Right.
because you're not going to do all the indies, and then there's all these contracts, and like that's not going to work.
Exactly.
But
Yeah.
like the way she talks about, finding new plays to play, like they're searching for growth.
Sure.
And if you're thinking of like in the short term, how do they find growth? It's not things I think traditional 40-year-old gamers that grew up the way
I
we
know.
have. It's not what we want to hear.
Yeah.
It's what would appeal to my son. It's about making it cheaper, making it more ubiquitous, making it finder. It's streaming sticks. It's
Well-
Game Pass on Switch. It's
Yep.
things like it's third party. Like
Mhm.
there's a giant world here where I'm like, if you just embrace being EA, you can fucking crush it at being EA. And I just want them to do that. And I think it mixes all their stuff up with them holding on to this idea that they're still a player in the console market. It's like, just you're not. You've killed that dream.
So the return of Xbox is one of 3 main bullet points that she says. And you think that the line of thinking there is get rid of the Xbox console.
I do.
That's
and
amazing.
I also have always contended that I think there's PC play. I've always seen it as them getting rid of the Xbox console. Now, there are other people that they're choosing not to believe that. They're like, it's got an Xbox logo on it. I click it. It says Xbox. It's an Xbox. I know that that's Windows. That's a play for Windows. That's not a play for Xbox.
I think that's the play they've done. And
So-
I think that's the... Oh, what was it? The Tom Warren article as well said the plan, this happens all the time. The plan was for there to be a mobile store, and a mobile Xbox store to open in summer of 2024, and it got moved or canceled. Like, it still hasn't happened, but they went forward with the marketing anyways. And it is crazy to me that this happens all the time with various companies that like, well, the ads have been bought, so like run it.
Yep.
Like Halo Infinite was supposed to come out at one point in time, so it's like you got your Doritos partnerships and your 7-Eleven and all these different things, and Halo got moved, but run the ads, run the chip bags and whatever else. It's like, that's nuts to me that they'd rather just like do that. And it's like, what harm did that create? I always, like we all said, this ad campaign is like a step too soon. Like they're not there yet.
Yeah, they're not there yet.
And it's because they were supposed to be
You can
there.
rip the whole philosophy apart with their own products.
Right. Yeah.
Like
It's like it was trying to sell something that literally didn't exist, and it's because they were supposed to have it at that same time.
they're working on it.
That's
They've always-
crazy. That's crazy to me.
And I think Xbox has always wanted to, like, they lean in toward the bleeding edge. They're always forward leaning.
Yeah.
If I had any hope of what those statements could mean, any sort of return to form, I think we would have been signaled in a stronger way on Friday. That's what I meant earlier.
Yeah, I know it. I know. Yeah.
It's like if that was on the table,
Yeah.
even if they hadn't figured it out yet, but it was the general direction they wanted to head, Sadia would have tipped that.
Oh, I think that's all we got was a general direction, and that's how it looks. That's what that
what
looks
I
like.
read in his full article where he talks about all the different devices and all the different players, and then when she talked about the phones and the strategy is the same.
Yeah.
I didn't hear a change in strategy.
Mhm.
I heard a change in execution,
Mm.
but the strategy's the same. The multi-platform is happening. I think that's
Yep.
done. It is. So I'm like, my head is way more where D-Life's is how do they extend the Game Pass? How do they find new players? How do they, like, I'm thinking when I hear new ways to
I
play
see.
that's where my head goes,
Sure.
because that's what she's done at Instacart.
So
You're like, she builds bases.
I think you can. So yes, I'm 100% with you. I want to say, I think you can do that without being on PlayStation or Nintendo, but you can be on every other platform or device and
Sure.
it still works. I think where things really fell apart was like any device included the direct console competitor. But I think you can still have like a Play Anywhere. This is an Xbox. Like, I think that still works if you're not releasing Halo, Fable, Forza
Yeah,
on PlayStation 5, but it's on your LG TV. I think that's fine.
yeah. No, I do agree with you. I think it's fine. I just don't. Nothing they've said has signaled to me that that's changing.
Well, so you said they follow
everything
the
is
numbers.
The thing that everything is an Xbox thing. Like, they hopefully just threw Sarah Bond under that bus today.
I saw that. That's
that was targeted.
If
Let's
it
just
was
make
her
eat all
idea
of
and it was
this.
her, like if that's I can't make that call on whether or not that's right or not. Like, it does feel unfair, but it's like,
Yeah, I definitely
if it
think
was
it's unfair.
her deal, then yeah, like it is hers. So but I don't know that.
They
So it's
didn't all
like,
sign off. I mean, they
all
all
I can-
signed off on that.
all I can say is that it sucked in that, like, it didn't actually work. Whosever idea was, like I said, it doesn't really matter at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah, CC Art, and again, these are the gamer things. It's in so many ways, John. I want to say it's like if some of these statements I've seen today, or not today, this weekend, they feel like statements that we would have made in 2008, like when all these were like toys and everybody was going at each other, and like you were like, yeah, we'll undercut the competition. Who cares if we eat $50 and ever, like, we're gonna establish the market. Those days are over, man.
Yeah,
The Xbox is $800.
I know.
Like, the crazy thing about this, let's get maybe off of so much of the news. Although I do want to hear you just tell. What would you do if you were running Xbox right now? The crazy thing about all of this timing happening wise is I literally have been shopping for an Xbox for 2 weeks.
Why?
The Steam Machine delay.
Interesting.
I'm concerned that the Steam Machine may not come out at all this year, and I need something to play Fable on. And I'm waffling back and forth, PlayStation or Xbox, PlayStation
Wow.
or Xbox, PlayStation or Xbox, and I wanted an Xbox
Yep.
because it fits in the cubby. I didn't have to do anything. I could just put it right in the cubby there it was before and call it a day. And Sean, for 2 weeks, I could not find a deal that I deemed worthy of buying an Xbox.
Yep.
Because they've raised the price so much to new, all the prices on used shit is up too. And
Totally.
a
Yes, of
used
course.
Series X is like $400 or more.
Yep.
And
Is
if
it
you're under
really?
that, it's not good. They're old. They're
Yeah,
like, there's a
scratched
lot of
up.
bad HDMI. Like, it's
Mhm. Yeah,
almost by
HDMI, mhm.
default. I got a PlayStation for $280. It's almost by
Just a
default.
quantity thing.
If you're looking for a console, almost by default, you will be steered towards a PlayStation.
Well, because there's
Be it
more
for
of those in the
content,
market.
word of mouth,
Yep.
hardware. Yeah, like it that's why I'm saying, like, for them to reestablish Xbox, I think you got to look at it as like, you literally, if that's the goal, if Saturday goes, I want it back, then Asha's response has got to be, then we've got to launch a console, not the console you've had. Like, we have to start from scratch. We have to let go of everything that got us here, and we have to start, like, we're breaking into this industry for the first time. And we've heard Xbox talk about how expensive it was for Xbox to get to where they got.
Yep.
And I think today, and it's crazy to say because they've got all this revenue and all these studios, but I think from the console market today, I think it's safe to say that they're at the bottom. Like, they're literally, I think the next iteration, they're starting from scratch.
Yeah.
Like, are you positive that if they launched a console, not a PC or just a regular Xbox console, do you think 20 million people would buy it in 2028? Because I don't.
It's the games. Like, I know it's boring and it's been said already. They need banger games. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it, man. Like, everything else is ancillary. It's to the side. It's tangential. It doesn't matter. You need the games to be spectacular. And they just
They
like
don't build
Hellblade was
those.
maybe one of the highest like opportunities. You know, everybody
Yeah.
were all hoping for it, but it was a
That
sequel to
got
Hellblade, and
that got
people
ripped to
confused what
shreds.
that was supposed to be. You
And they
know,
didn't believe in it themselves. Budget
Right.
rate, no physical release. Like,
right?
yeah, they don't make those games.
Yeah, so like I need to make sure that I attach that to my very like old school, yeah, bring back exclusives, but it's like they've had exclusives and they were like Quantum Break.
Yeah, they were of no consequence. They didn't.
They
move the
were of
needle.
no consequence. They didn't make you go
Recore.
like I must have that console for that
Yeah,
game. And that's
they were cool.
really
There was something to do.
yeah.
That's why.
Like that's why I look back at like 2025. I just pulled this up. Maybe there's other ones, but like exclusives or games from Xbox Game Studios, Avowed, Doom: The Dark Ages, South of
Great game.
Midnight, Indiana Jones was just a little bit before that.
People love it.
Outer Worlds 2, Gears of War Reloaded. Like these are things, if you made them exclusive, would they help you accomplish your goal? And I don't think so.
No,
And I like all those games.
Yep.
But they're not Uncharted. They're not The Last of
not
Us.
by
They're
a
not God of
console
War. They're not that like
they're not
That's
buy
what I
a
mean.
console game. There are games that you buy a console for, and Xbox doesn't make those games anymore. They used to.
Mass
Halo
Effect
was
is
that
one of
game.
those consoles. BioShock is one of those, or sorry,
Halo
one of
was-
those games.
Halo was one
Halo?
of those games. Halo was one of those games.
Yep.
And then it wasn't.
Yep.
Yeah, they don't make those games.
That's
Maybe
the
that's
problem.
something to reflect on why they don't make those games and how they manage the studios that make games.
Mm-hmm. Matt Booty.
What do you think?
Forza's one of those games for sure, but it's
Yeah.
one.
So what do you, if you ran Xbox, you're in the chair.
Are you done? Like that's it. That's the
So I
question.
want to
If
know. I want to know what you would like. What would you do if you ran Xbox? Like, what?
Oh, I feel like I've kind of said it already.
I know.
But like,
I just want to like. What is your even more than what you do? Like you've said, exclusive, but like, what's the vision? What's your direction if you ran Xbox? What do you think the aim is?
I think you got to be able to say you're competing with PlayStation, that you want to be the best console maker in the place where you're playing games. You've got to be the best. I don't think that they've been able to say that. I don't think they've wanted to really say that of like, we're going to be the place to play, the
As
best
you're
place to
saying that,
play.
I was like, you could just tell we're from that Xbox Steve Ballmer era because we just have that energy. Like he
I
wanted
just
to
think
win.
because I think it's identifiable. And I got into this with the crew on the Xbox Drive a little bit because it's like anything else is trying to be all things to all people. And I don't think that works either. Like trying to sell all things to 6
Not
billion
unless you're
gamers
third
on the
party.
planet. I don't think that makes any sense. What are you selling? What am I supposed to latch onto? What is your identity?
Yep.
So you have to have something that you're going, like this is basic marketing. It's just like you're the best or you're the cheapest or you're, I guess they're trying to be most available, but like they've got to be the best. They've got to be in as many households as possible. And it's just like they took that line of thinking like to the extreme. It's like because they just tried to make everything an Xbox. It's like, oh, it's not really it. So I think you've got to make it. It's too bad. I think a lot of what's been coming out of like Bethesda was probably to me like their best shot of like just honing them in towards the best games being made. Like
Yeah.
Starfield had that promise and they bet the farm on it. They're like, imagine if like a Skyrim was
Yeah.
exclusive to like Skyrim in
They
space.
absolutely looked at that like it was going to be the next Skyrim.
Why wouldn't you?
Of course, that was all the telemetry and analytics, all the metrics were pointing in that direction.
So maybe to your point, like that's why you don't go down that route.
You need
again.
vision.
But the vision is we make the best games,
I mean,
and you can only get them here.
you need vision to be able to pick between the games, to look beyond the metrics.
Yeah,
That's leadership.
yeah. It's a simple equation, but Xbox makes the best games, and you can only play them here. And it's just playing. We're just ripping off Nintendo's playbook.
That's a real expensive proposition.
But like two others are doing it. Like I get what you're saying, and everybody like turns their nose up at this, and it's like it is the model.
No,
You
I'm
can
not
try and invent a new model.
I'm not just no, I'm not. I wholly agree with you. Yeah, just make great video games. Yeah,
Just
no,
make great video games.
I wholly agree with you.
Mm-hmm.
they have a lot of studios that don't make great video games.
That's where they're at.
Like
That's really at the heart of all of this.
it's like it's love. It's like we want to say it, and like we want to believe that the next game will elevate.
Yep.
But they've had enough people have enough cracks at it now. They own 40 studios, and I can clearly say that I think at least half don't make great video games.
Yep.
They make good video games.
Yep.
But they don't make great video games.
2024, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, Ara History Untold, Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, Diablo 4, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Diablo 4 is as close as it gets.
In the Windows Gaming, Microsoft Gaming spin-off division, and Diablo heads that way.
They've spent billions, hundreds, like tens of billions of dollars, and it's like you don't have something that can take out God of War.
There's a sunk cost fallacy with everything right now with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's hard to really think I know any direction they could go in without knowing their stomach for reinvesting in Xbox.
Yeah.
How much do you value this? Do you value enough to give them $100 billion to reset themselves?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that's might be what's necessary.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then it's like, to what end? Like,
And
what,
I
what do
think
you think you're going to get out of this?
That's why she's here.
Yeah.
Because I think Satya's like, to what end?
Mm-hmm. Well, of course.
Who
yeah,
can
they're
blame
a trillion dollar
Who
company.
can blame him?
Yeah.
Like, look at what's happened. You know, for
Mm-hmm.
all the rights, wrongs, and shoulda, woulda, couldas, and boy, is Xbox a story of shoulda, wouldas, and couldas. But
No
it's
kidding.
like, that's why I think she's here. I see an outsider coming in because there's time for outside business to happen.
Yeah.
Like, it needs to change.
Oof.
And I don't see changing like internally into Xbox.
The tricky thing is, especially when you're talking about all your in-house developers, like the length of time, if you made a decision right now on what the future is going to be, all right, well, yeah, Yarden mentions Elder Scrolls 6 would sell systems in the chat. It's like that game's come out in like 14 years.
Yeah. And
Like the
there's no
time
way
it takes for us to see the result of this, it's like, it's not going to happen. You can't even do it. It's so funny because like the solution might be the opposite of what they've done in the past. They went out and bought all the studios when it's like, wouldn't it be great to kind of go out to market and go, well, what is everybody else working on and how do we make that exclusive?
Yeah.
And just try to, because ultimately that's what they did with Starfield. It was going to be PlayStation exclusive, and they're like, absolutely not. We'll buy the whole studio.
And they're gun shy after Tomb Raider.
Right.
Like, you know, Phil was like, we fucking got it.
Yeah.
Full blown Tomb Raider exclusives with this big ass game, or an apparent for like, he thought it was the slam dunk, and it was met with such vitriol. They were like, holy shit, like what? I thought you loved this. This is what everyone said
I
they
know,
wanted.
but of course it was met with vitriol when it was the first
other
and only
ones.
time that they really did anything like that. It's like, I said this back then, man, I'm having like
You did.
deja vu here.
I remember.
Because it's like, that's all PlayStation had been doing. That PlayStation built their entire model after second party
Stellar
deals
Blade,
like that.
Kenna,
Yeah. And I mean,
they
like everybody
continue to do so.
came up with exceptions on like why it was different for PlayStation and why it's not allowed for Xbox. And that was
Yeah.
always frustrating, but it's like, well, then you just have to set the cadence and the expectation for this is what happens with Xbox now.
The
they
difference being Peter
abandoned it.
Moore would have told them to go fuck themselves.
100%. And he would have bought he would have done the next deal. The
He would
next
have been-
day,
he
he's
would
like,
have been
well,
you know what? We're buying every other sequel.
mhm.
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, and you know what? Final Fantasy, like, dude, remember because PlayStation did it with Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Call of Duty, like PlayStation is
That
the
was
new home for
huge.
Call of Duty, and
I
it was even
watched
just
the-
marketing.
I watched the Xbox show for years, always knowing that Call of Duty was at the Xbox show until it wasn't. And it was a massive pull.
That was it, and it was the marketing of it. Like we weren't even talking about
And,
exclusives. It
again,
was just where you were going to see the commercial.
Look
for
beyond the metrics. They were like, yeah, but we've got it. Titanfall.
it. Right. Yeah, but it was on. But that is so damn. I'm going to undo myself here. It was on a console that nobody gave a shit about.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's like the
it's more
console offering the value proposition of the Xbox One was so bad that even Titanfall
Yep.
couldn't do it.
Yep.
But at the same time, like PlayStation 4 had, all those things that it had. Like PlayStation 4, my God, man, what a beast of a console.
What a beast of an executive play.
Well,
crushed
again,
it.
like they just made the partnerships. It was all about
They
partnerships
crushed it. They
back
picked the
then.
right games.
They picked the right games. They had Destiny. They had Bungie, which also felt like oh shit,
We
like
have Halo now.
Halo's team is over here
Yeah.
doing its thing, and Call of
and
Duty
by the
is
way,
over
it's about to
here.
like take over the whole industry for like 4
And
or
by
5
the
years.
way, we just did The Last of Us, and oh my god, PlayStation 4
Titanfall, you
was
can't play by yourself.
Yeah, it's hard for me to really like talk about this kind of stuff as in like what can they possibly do? It's like, I don't know, man. PlayStation did a pretty fucking good job of it.
So when I hear or see the folks talking about like, oh, they're going to reinvest, they're going to do this, it's like I'm all on board for it. I just hope they understand the reality of that. That this isn't a 1-year play.
I've always said that
God,
on everything.
It would take 10 years of this.
Probably.
And you're just shoveling money
generation.
into the coals.
Yep.
Trying to get back market share.
And the argument could be said that is what they've been doing for the last 10 years. And so, yeah, so I think you said that before.
Yeah,
Yarden in the chat brings up something I want to talk about. He says, if they would just save Bluepoint and remake old games, that would be saved. They basically own every old IP. I 100% agree with this. Thank you.
Every publisher in the world right now should be on the phone with any contact they have at Bluepoint going, how much to buy you and your 70 friends?
Yep. 100%.
It's such a small studio with such a pedigree.
Wouldn't that be a first move for,
That would be. That's a deal. That shows up. Hey, we're remaking Fable with the minds that did fucking Bluepoint. You know, like something like that would go a long way.
So there's an extraction of value on all the IP that they own that they have to address here. Like that would be a really good thing to do is just go, they've got a Banjo-Kazooie, they've got, pick your pick.
Yeah.
Like the list is
Prototype?
infinite. I mean, you go to Prototype. I'm not sure if that's
I like Prototype.
I don't know if that's exactly what it is.
It's
but
I think I can never really talk about Xbox these days without constantly reminding myself that the majority of the Activision stuff still never made it to Game Pass.
Totally.
We never had the Activision and Game Pass moment. We never had like, here's all the Call of Duties and here's all the back catalog. We never had it. They were like, here's one Call of Duty. It's like, what did you spend $70 billion on?
It's and now it's too. Is it too late?
To publish Call of Duty on Play? You could have just not done that.
Okay, so tack that onto my list of what I would do if I ran Xbox. Tack that on there.
Okay.
Everything.
Yeah.
Just no exceptions, no nothing. All of it.
Surefire. Of course they'll dump all of that. None. It's so little of it.
It's the Smash Ultimate of Game Pass. Everyone is here.
We got Call of Duty and a Tony Hawk game for $70 billion.
And they're like, it's so weird. Like nobody jumped on.
I guess Diablo
Game Pass.
I may be being a little exaggerated.
Diablo
here.
2 just got on Game Pass.
See, like all of Activision and Blizzard should have exploded Game Pass.
Oh, here's an
And
unpopular one that I like to.
They didn't even have the moment, like the day, really.
I like to do this one, Donnie, and everybody hates this one, but I still think this is a good idea. You're gonna fucking hate it too. Game Pass equals World of Warcraft subscription, and World of Warcraft subscription equals Game Pass. They're the same.
Yeah, I don't care. That's indifferent.
They're the exact same, and all of a sudden, your Game Pass subscribers just tripled or whatever the number is.
At least you can count them.
Just count them.
At least you can
just
count them.
Give everybody who subscribed to World of Warcraft, just give them Game Pass.
Yeah.
And whether they play the games or not, who gives a shit?
That's
they probably
the benefit
won't.
of Game Pass.
It's the benefit of the Game Pass. Like you bought all those customers. I add that to my list.
The reality of Game Pass was that the people that were buying Game Pass were the people that were already going to buy Halo and Gears anyway.
Exactly.
So it just got them to buy Hellblade whether they chose to play it or not.
Exactly.
And it went out. The math stopped working.
Okay, I'm actually surprised. I'm surprised. Every time I bring this up, people are like, "What the hell are you talking about? Don't you realize like blah 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 blah?" And it's like, no.
Yeah.
That's
why
you bought the customer base.
That's why we needed to record this show.
And you know what? Throw Elder Scrolls Online in there as well.
The reason
if you're
Game
subscribed
Pass
to that,
around,
it's changed to Game Pass. They're changing it Office to Copilot, for fuck's sakes.
That's a good point. That's the best point you've ever had.
Okay, there you go. I'm gonna hang my hat on that one.
Yeah, you're right. They did just change the whole business that built the place.
Office, Microsoft Office equals Copilot. Don't tell me they can't change World of Warcraft subscription and Elder Scrolls subscription to equal Game Pass. Oh, you're gonna eliminate all the value of them trying to get both. It's like, I'm sorry, that's my first move.
Yeah.
And then right after that, I'm buying Bluepoint. Ryan
good.
Turford says, as an avid World of Warcraft player, I've always agreed with you on that, Sean. Thank you, Ryan.
At the very
You're the
least,
only
I'd
one.
count 'em. You might as
You're
well.
the only one. That would make, like, just imagine. Congratulations,
I do
all
think
World of Warcraft
there's-
subscribers.
I don't think they would ever do it because again, it would come with just such fan reaction. But there's a world where they relaunch a PC storefront that has all of their content that they own exclusive, and that is quite a rival to Steam. If you put
Hmm.
WoW and Call of Duty and Diablo and Forza and if you put all of that and you're like, oh, you can play it on PC, we hope you do, but you can only play it via our launcher, that's a real play.
There you go. Yep.
Like it's
Yeah.
not going to eat Steam's lunch, but it's going to be better than Epic, guaranteed.
Call of Duty exclusive.
Like WoW
to
alone
Windows.
gets you better
to-
than Epic
Yep.
alone. Like kind of like you're at the very least you're number 2 with
Here's-
just WoW and Call of
Here's
Duty.
the issue, though. Which Xbox owned storefront on PC? Is it the Xbox one? Is it BattleNet? Is it? I don't even
BattleNet.
feel like there's got to be a couple more.
Did you see they added like sounds and shit to the cloud gaming thing? So when you move around Xbox Cloud, it like kind of it sounds and reacts kind of like a console.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, I
That's
was like,
what
ah,
PC
they're kind
players
of getting
want.
there.
Yeah, but is that what PC play? Like that's why
No,
Steam.
no.
That's why Steam works.
This whole
'cause-
Xbox everything, I've always yelled at me in D Life. We have the longest arguments, just the two of us, because I'm like, but when I go to Xbox Cloud, it doesn't look like the console.
Mhm.
The Xbox app is not a console. It doesn't look anything like the console.
Right.
It needs to be the same.
Mm.
It needs to be the same. Everything. And then you can say, we have a choose whatever you want, play wherever you want thing. But they
It
never
has to be
got
the same
there.
as in the games that you can play.
When I click the Xbox app on my PC or my Xbox or my phone, I want it to all be the same.
Interesting.
It shouldn't look different. It shouldn't behave different. The navigation shouldn't be different. The UI should be different. My pens should be still be the same. My game should be in the location. Like it should be the same if you want to treat it the way they're treating it like a platform.
I disagree. I think big picture mode is my example that I'll go to there.
Okay.
I think,
think that.
big picture mode would work on like big picture mode is what you would want on a Steam machine, and
Mhm.
Steam regular OS is what you want on PC.
Hang on. I think maybe I can prove this better. Xbox.com/play. I understand exactly what you're saying, but I don't think that is the quite the
But I
same
think
point.
Steam actually gives you what you want. Like just do both. Have a big picture mode
100%.
and a PC version.
I know that's what you mean. I can't authenticate to my damn. Can you log into Xbox.com/play?
Yeah, I'd probably logged in right now.
Oh, hang on. Maybe I can get there. I have to do the damn Copilot check-in. Get your authenticator app.
Copilot.
Imagine logging into your Xbox and having to authenticate with the Microsoft Authenticator app.
It's coming. You want everything
It
to be the
probably
same.
is coming. The
You
average,
want everything to be the same?
damn, age stuff. It probably is coming.
Yeah, I'm logged in. What do you want me to do?
I was gonna share. I wanted to share this. I don't know if you can share. Can you share stuff, or is it just me?
I can share.
Share your screen.
I'm yeah, there we go.
Xbox.com/play.
Oh, okay. /play. Oh, is this like where I could play cloud games and stuff?
Yeah. Now hang on. Yeah, so it's the same. All right. So the difference being what you're talking about Steam is you're talking about classic Steam UI. It's completely different than the big picture. This isn't.
Yeah.
Like this already looks like the console, but it's not the console.
Sure.
It's like a facsimile of what the console does look like, but it's not the console.
I
The
understand what you're saying.
navigation is different.
Yep.
The pins aren't the same. This is a Game Pass advertisement app.
Yep.
Right. That's been kind of my thing with the whole Xbox play. Like if I buy an Xbox Rock Ally or an Xbox Series S or get on my thing or launch my browser or my tablet, it should all be the same. If you want to act and treat it like it's the same platform. In my opinion. I think
Yeah.
that pitch goes a lot further. If you're like, hey, everything's Xbox, you don't need an Xbox. Like if like when I open this, it literally is an Xbox. This isn't an Xbox. This is the Game Pass app. But
Yeah.
it kind of wants to look like an Xbox. But guess what? Like I don't know if you have, but I'm looking at mine. I've never played Blueprints or The Descendant and don't give a shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not personal. It's not mine.
Right.
It's not my console.
Right.
It's like someone else's console. Every time I open this, I can't not have that thought. Now I do a lot of like UI UX design. So I think I have like the tendency to like dwell on things like that.
I think
But
you're bang on.
That's the eloquentness of building good UI, is that you convey that to people without them thinking about it. Right? Like look at this. There's 3 of the same game.
I know. There's 4 aliens.
Yeah, it's yes. This
Yeah.
being my point. Like, oh, you just play on the cloud. It's like, but it's not.
Yeah, I've made this point before that, like, you know, it's Microsoft, their $1 trillion company, but I feel like, what is it? Play? What do you call it? Play? What's that app that on PC?
Play
that
Night.
brings all your- Play Night.
That's what
It's
they're
like-
doing.
They're the same. Yeah.
They're being Play Night, not Steam. That's been my exact point.
Well, so this is where I struggle to like see your point as being the proof of concept here. I'm not sure like this is what I want, even if it was like
Exactly
done
the same?
correctly. I'm not sure that I want this. Like because I think on PC you want a different. This is Epic Games. This is Epic Game Store.
This
I
is
think
the
Epic.
Epic Games. Yeah.
I think Epic Game Store doesn't work because it does try to be a
It's
console.
an infinite row. It's an infinite row of thumbnails.
I think this underestimates the intelligence of people when they're on their PC. I think this tries to dumb it down a little bit. Where I think Steam, for better or for worse, like it's like kind of
Curated.
complicated, but
Well, it's curated. It was built for purpose.
certainly it's curated.
And I
What
don't mean that from a content selection. I mean from the app.
yeah,
The app was designed around you. That's what consoles do.
sure, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
I
isn't
just
that. This is a bunch of API links centered into a UI.
yes,
Yeah. We're saying the same thing.
yeah.
You're like, I don't want this. It's like, I don't want this either.
I think there's 2 separate things. There's a curation thing and like just simply like what does it look like?
It's about an experience.
Yes.
You're not getting the Xbox experience with this.
Mm,
This is not the Xbox experience. It should all be the same experience. Like if Xbox wants to say we're above consoles, we're play anywhere, we're anything you want, then I need to play every game on anything the same way. Or that falls apart.
mm,
Can I play Fable 2 on this like I can my Xbox? Then it's not an Xbox.
yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole point. It's like,
I understand. I just don't know if I opened up whatever the Xbox app is. I don't know if it looked like my console app, if that makes it better. I don't know. It sounds
I
like
got you.
you think it would make it better. I don't know if that's necessarily the answer either.
Like if you had a streaming stick and they just put an Xbox experience on a streaming stick for $50.
streaming stick's different because that ends up on my TV. I want that to look like an Xbox.
So when I
experience.
think of their cloud and play, I'm thinking with the idea of to bring product.
sure, yeah,
So
I think
if I could come to you and be like, oh yeah, so you've got an Xbox, that's great. We hope you keep using it. It's awesome. By the way, I have this little box, this streaming thing. You plugged it in, it was exactly the same. You signed into Sean, and this is where you left off. These are your pins.
that I agree with.
The org, the UI is the same
Yes.
way you have it, and your experience, your Xbox experience, is the same.
100%.
Now you're on to something.
Yes.
Now there's something to really, who cares? You can buy our game on PlayStation. Have you seen the shit that's going on over here?
Yep.
Like that's the Switch-like experience where
Yep.
you pick it up and go, and it's the same.
Yep.
That's what's missing.
Yep.
But for this fantasy,
Mm-hmm.
that's what's missing. That's why.
Can
it
I add
doesn't
more
feel
stuff I
that
want to
way.
do if I ran Xbox?
Sure.
I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. In the 360 days, whatever you bought, Donnie, it came with Xbox Live. 2 weeks of it, a week of it,
Yeah.
a month of it, whatever.
Game Pass.
Game Pass.
That's the old Donnie Sean favorite.
You buy a
We
console,
wanted to put Game Pass in everything.
but you know what, Donnie? I'm gonna be a real son of a bitch about it. If you buy Forza Horizon 6 on PlayStation, head over to Xbox.com to
pay
redeem
there.
your code for Game Pass.
Oh, that's even better. I was
They
gonna
just
say,
get
I
2
would-
weeks
I
over
thought-
there or
I
something.
thought you were gonna go with like cross buy.
I mean,
That would-
that's
That would
already
be
there.
Fucking wild. No, I meant like with their stuff. If you buy it on PlayStation, like you can still do it over here.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, that is what that would do.
Sort of.
is
Yeah.
that would do it. You could get Game Pass over there. Like, yes, thank you for buying it here on PlayStation, but also,
If it's tied to your account,
yeah,
like you play it. Like, what if they did it with Steam?
100%. Yeah, I would like. So this could be a topic for an hour. Like,
That
how do
would
you
be-
get stupid aggressive with Game Pass?
That would be them being about their business. We want you to play everywhere. Okay, well then I bought God of War and I want to play it on Steam and PlayStation.
Yep.
Like that's a platform.
Yep.
That's something you do, nobody else does.
Yeah.
That's you building something around your customer.
Yep. I think the TV stuff, like you can play cloud on an LG or Samsung TV or whatever. It's like it's not enough. They needed to go one step further of shove a Game Pass code in there and get people signed up, and they've got it.
Bundle.
Totally.
Put it on the box.
Yeah.
Super Bowl Sunday.
More of that. Like they put the app on all these things, but they didn't give anybody a reason to sign up.
I
do
think
it's there.
That I don't think they're doing this, but I do think putting that app on Switch is something. That's a play. Maybe not in the direction you want, but it's a play in a direction.
I think they got to figure out a way to get Nintendo on board for that. I don't know if that's even a thing, if there is a way to do it, but I would do it. I just don't think Nintendo wants it there, and they could shut that down big time.
Yeah.
As far as like the cloud gaming thing,
you'd probably have to be first party. I think Call of Duty is a big enough reason to maybe entertain the idea. I could make other ideas, but I mean, they'd all be speculative, right?
Yeah.
Like there are things Nintendo uses like for cloud and stuff that maybe Microsoft could probably help with.
Yeah.
But these are all pie in the sky things. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yarden says I used the app once on my TV. I agree. But I'm a bad example because I have the console. I have all of the things. There's no need for me to use it. Like, why would I use the app on my TV if I already have the console
attached
to
that
TV?
Streaming app or browser now because it's not even in the app anymore. You know that? I didn't know that. Did you know that?
What?
They took the cloud streaming out of the app.
They took the cloud streaming out of the app.
So before
on the phone, it was in the app. It's in the app.
I opened it on my Chromebook the other day and I can't stream from the app. I can buy the game from the app and it links me out to the browser. But I think it was something with that Apple ruling Garrett was telling me about. Like they took it, it's not in the app. Like before when you opened the game, it was like you could play cloud right now. Click the button. That was gone for me. This was like last week. It wasn't even that long ago. And Garrett told me they did that. He was like, yeah, they did that. You didn't know that? I was like, I had no idea.
Oh, damn.
That's even like more confusing. That's why I asked you to go to Xbox.com play because I've been having to do that lately. But I've used the cloud streaming, not a lot. I've never completed a whole game using cloud streaming.
Yeah.
But I've played it in opportune moments when I'm on my Chromebook, when I'm at work, on my Mac. Right? I don't have Windows PC anymore. I can't. So I've used it quite a bit on the Mac.
It's got to be browser based.
Yeah, it's not bad. I think there's something there. I think there's enough there to sell a streaming stick. Like I really do. Could Xbox like partner with Roku or something?
I'm sure they must have at this point.
Like a big part of one big problem with kind of going back to the way they used to do things that actually we didn't address. So now I'm glad we've stumbled across this, is that they've spent 10 years training people not to buy their games. That's real. And it's something D-Life and I also talk about often because I'm constantly searching for D-Life loves this everything future. So he's a good foil for me on this one because I don't. And the thing that he and I really have to like shake to agree to disagree on is I'm still waiting to see the data that shows that any of these billions of cloud devices they can possibly potentially reach give a shit about buying a video game.
Right.
There's nobody in that market buying video games.
Right. Agreed.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
It's like the future can't be a market where nobody buys video games when the whole model is dependent upon millions of people buying video games. Yep. Say what you want to say about the young kids and whatnot, but the markets that Nintendo is selling fucking video games,
full
billions
price,
of them, PlayStation selling video games. Microsoft, because of their position, was like, no, we're not going to sell you games. We're going to do it as a service. And now nobody wants to buy the service. So now what? And I think I've seen you make this point. I used to say this a lot. When Gears went over to PlayStation, it did not exactly light up the world like I thought it would as an avid, beloved Gears fan.
Yep.
And that really started making me think, okay, so they've bet against their platform for software revenue.
Yep.
So what happens when the software doesn't sell?
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen you make that point.
This is my single, my platform.
Everyone is like, yeah, Forza's killing it. It's like, but Forza's one of 12.
Yeah.
There's like 10 others that are not
sold
killing
out
it.
The entire brand. For
what? For what? Yeah, they've given up the 30% on their cut. They've given up on the user share. They've given up on the brand, like loyalty.
Yep.
And they think they or anyone thinks that exclusive games are going to bring any of those people back. That's pushing a rock up a hill.
Well, now it's funny because this is where you get that defeated Phil Spencer showing up on Kind of Funny going like, I'm damned if I do, I'm damned if I don't. Like, so you make everything exclusive, things aren't great. You put their things multi-platform, things aren't great. Like the point about is Microsoft driven by analytics. It's like, well, take your pick. Because one of the analytics will show hardware sales are down, software sales are down, and they did multi-platform, and it's like that didn't solve it either.
Yep.
This is my biggest. If I'm going to hang my hat on anything, it's that. It's everybody can say about, oh, well, they can't afford to make it exclusive. It's like, can they afford to go multi-platform either? I think the data shows they can't.
This is why, after all the chewing that I've done and all the notes and the listening, and I just keep coming back to, I think the only alternative moving forward is them going at some point just third party.
EA.
Yeah.
But again, like, so how are they not there now?
I think they are with this, with this last,
and it's not good. Like
this last grasp hold off of what used to be.
I don't think this is it. I don't think this is the answer. I
agree with you. I don't like it.
It's not that I don't like it. It's,
I don't like it.
That it's not working. It's not.
Well, I mean, it's
like they've gone third party.
It is for some games, and for others, it isn't. And that's another reason why I think we're probably looking at studio closures. Like, it's working. They made a lot of money. They're not dead. They're not like not selling anything. They made money.
I don't know.
Billions of dollars, I think, right, in revenue this year.
No, I think we got to look at like comparatives of like,
what it used to be.
Just year over year. Like,
Sure,
how much did they sell last year? Just all of it.
Yeah.
How much did they sell last year compared to how much did they sell this year? And I think the curve is down.
I wouldn't say it's down, but it's inflated by Call of Duty. There is a Call of Duty inflation.
Well, now they have one full year of Call of Duty year over year, and Call of Duty is down.
Yeah. I don't see a way out I don't see an outcome that I think is reasonable to believe them in doing.
Because they can't make great games.
Yeah. And I don't think they're willing to spend.
Well, they've tried.
Like, more.
I think Perfect Dark was maybe the endeavor for that.
Yeah.
I think delaying Halo Infinite for a year was trying to make sure that the next Halo game was going to be that. I think Starfield was the attempt on that, and they just keep getting outdone by Studio X, Y, or Z, which is really crazy and sad.
I think whether they go multi-platform, exclusive, console or not, I think I think you could almost reasonably boil the path ahead into two paths. Either you reinvest and you commit to Xbox for the next 10 years to spend whatever it takes to get them back on their feet, or you go third party. Would you agree with that? I'm not trying to make it binary. I know that the left path, there's a lot of room in there. That's a big highway. But generally, just two directions, I feel like they're basically looking at those two decisions.
Is it binary to say that when I like they're going to make it exclusive to console but sell it on PC? I think that's the future.
I'm indifferent to that. And in this question that I'm asking, the strategy is not really important. I think the direction is you either go third party and you become a publisher, just a publisher, or you commit to Xbox for the next 10 years, because I think that's what it'll take to get them back on their feet.
Yes.
I think that's the decision they're looking at, and I don't think they're going to pick the invest path.
Yeah, I agree.
So when I come to these conclusions that I've come to, I think it's 100. That's the epicenter of my universe. Is I think for them to get where they want to go, what they speak about going, what I remember Xbox used to being, for them to get back there, they have to make a 10-year commitment to Xbox. And I don't think they're going to.
So let me explore this a little bit as far as like what motivates them to make the decisions they have. The money thing is the obvious answer. We've explored that, I think, to death. The thing that motivated Xbox or Microsoft to get into the console business to begin with was PlayStation is going to beat them to the living room, or however they wanted to say that. Like, What
Also, I think that core group, they saw a real opportunity. They saw the
Sure.
space that was happening in PC gaming. They saw the developer situation in console gaming, and they were like, there's an opportunity.
we can excel at
We can
this.
bring this, and they're already games.
Yeah.
But we'll just sell it against.
Well, that's
the
why they went
console.
Game Pass. They're like, we're great at subscriptions. We've
Yeah.
been selling Office forever. We're great at we'll do that.
And they were.
Sure.
They
Mhm.
were great at it
Yep.
for a moment.
Yep. So what would motivate them if not money? And obviously that's going to be the number one. But like, what other thing
If they're committed to Xbox.
that no, it's got to be better. It's they don't give a shit about like
I
they,
agree with
they
you.
cut things all the time. It can't. be
Sadia was
bad.
like, I have a love for gaming. And I'm like, do you? Like,
There's no way. That's not it. That's not what I mean. Like is somebody going to move in on their territory? Is somebody going to
what
beat them?
territory?
That's what I'm trying to explore. Like this is I'm like, what are they trying to accomplish by being in the gaming industry? And it's like, there's not a lot of
was-
meat on that bone.
Yeah,
Maybe.
no, there's not. It was to bring experiences. It was to bolster Windows. Like we've gone through several iterations of that with them, or at least under
Mhm.
Sadia's watch.
Yep.
I think it's just Microsoft's completely different than before.
The sad thing is like, if the future is AI, then how does gaming funnel people into AI?
They
usage.
are. I mean, given her background, you have to think
Yeah.
that that's partly a part of her mandate. And here's the thing: I actually don't even hate that, because the vertical that Microsoft is investing and throwing money at, like they used to Xbox, is AI.
100%.
Yeah,
Well, that's
where,
why Seamus comes out and says
that's where all that attention
Mm-hmm.
is there. So if you could find a way to attach Xbox to that in a meaningful way, you could
Yeah.
continue. That's where you do get investment to build into Xbox for 10 years.
Yeah, well, that's cloud gaming. That's them trying to, add value to all this infrastructure that they had built in Azure and everything like that. That's Phil
It
Spencer.
should be trying to find a way to make games cheaper.
which is
Nobody
AI.
wants to hear
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
Again, these are all decisions that they're going to have to stomach if they want to see it through. But like that would actually change the landscape of their future.
There's got to be something if we care about like it's got to be great games.
Windows?
There's got to be some like a task force, a team of like finding the next generation of great game makers and somehow like enveloping that into the mix here as well. Like who's
You
the
want them
next
to
one?
incubate?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
PlayStation's killing them in that department.
100%.
You know, they've got the Kennas and then the Blue Points, and that didn't turn out well, but they've definitely got the market cornered on these.
Yeah, like
Stellar
they're good
Blade.
at buying when they're established. They bought
Mhm.
Activision.
I just think they're good at identifying them. They're way better scouting than Microsoft.
it's a scouting thing.
They-
100%.
They pick better players.
Yeah. Well,
Like,
Xbox
yeah, the
One, I think,
Xbox
and
is like the-
PS4 was where that really came to light.
Yeah,
It's like Xbox got Cyberpunk, and
yeah. At the condition that it was in
yeah.
when they got it.
Every
You know.
time Xbox landed one of those partnerships, the game sucked.
PlayStation's better at scouting.
PlayStation got Destiny and that glacier white, beautiful
Mm-hmm.
console, and that was all great. And yeah, golly,
We got Rise. I
well,
like
that's
Rise.
kind of what I mean. That's exactly what I mean.
I know it is, but I like
Like,
Rise.
Yeah,
And
and
again,
it's
Again, metrics, Crytek. Let's pick them.
yep.
They just crushed it for us.
Why wouldn't you?
Their games are great.
Why wouldn't you?
Why
Yeah.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
There is a lot of why wouldn't you context to Phil's arc,
Big time.
and none of that's being said.
Yep.
You know, that's somewhat of a disservice to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
There's some things that are obvious after the fact. You go, that probably wasn't the right thing. But in the moment, sometimes I might make the same call.
I would never throw a stone at them for their Connect. Now, had we
I bought, dude, I was in. I
Had
was
we-
absolutely
had
in.
they found out PlayStation was cheaper, I would have been in the room, but like, we have to match.
Agreed.
I don't care if we eat it. We have to.
Agreed.
Like,
Yes.
that's just that at that point you go, we screwed up, we picked wrong, and now we have to make the decision if we want to stay in the fight.
Yep.
That was that Xbox. I
Mhm.
haven't seen that Xbox in ages, Sean.
No.
So like, we all know, like, for them to get back, they need to go back to that. But it's like, who there is going to do that?
Yeah.
Not Asha. I'm
Probably
sorry.
not. Yeah.
Like, And
Well,
I don't think so.
I'll just keep playing on my PC like I have been for the last
Sure.
probably year or so.
I'm buying Fable on PlayStation.
Yeah, golly.
I'm gonna buy Gears on PlayStation.
I
That's
can't
what
believe that
feels
was
so
a sentence.
fucking
I
weird.
can't believe you just said that. Like
I
I
know.
I don't blame
know.
you.
And
That's not what I
Sean,
mean.
Fable looks fucking great.
I can't believe it. I
It
know.
looks like it could be
Imagine exclusive
system
on
fucking seller.
exactly. Oh man.
I got Dev over here being like, that Fable though. I'm like, you
Mm-hmm. And Forza Horizon 6. Wait, I don't think that one is coming to PlayStation yet.
Not yet.
That one is exclusive.
Yeah. They're not they didn't announce it's not announced.
Like
yet.
imagine this year. What do they got coming out? They got Forza, they got Fable, they've got what's
Forza,
the other one?
Fable, Halo, and something else.
Yeah, Halo,
I think
Combat,
Fable, I think Fable.
or sorry, Campaign Evolved.
Yeah. I think
Imagine if all
Fable's
that
gonna
was
slip.
Xbox exclusive.
Yeah. Well, at this point in the gen, I don't think it mattered, but imagine if this was all Xbox exclusive 3 years ago.
They all this whole time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
man.
again,
I mean, it's yeah.
Imagine if Infinite was good. Imagine if 5 was good. Imagine if Starfield was good. Imagine if what was the Platinum game? Scalebound was good. Imagine if Crackdown was good. Imagine like we have 50 of these.
Yep.
That's
They missed on all of them.
That's it. Dude, they're the Cleveland Browns of console makers. man.
Even Forza Motorsport, which should have been the most given, the absolute ace, like easy.
was a miss.
They missed on Forza Motorsport, dude.
then-
That's
and then-
crazy.
And we don't have turn 10 anymore.
Well, and look how late into the generation it came. Like that thing, there's a story to be told there. Like what happened? It used to alternate. Like it was like Forza Motorsport and Horizon. And then all of a sudden it was like Horizon and Horizon. It's like, where is Motorsport? And it came out and it's, oh man, it's a staple.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it was actually the joke of Xbox, Forza, Gears, and Halo. Like
Forza,
that's
Gears,
it. And
and
it's like
Halo.
all of a sudden
Forza Gears and Halo. Forza
they didn't
Gears
have
and Halo.
Motorsport. That's crazy.
That was their 3-year cycle. That was their Call of Duty cycle.
This is why Matt Booty, I just cannot believe it.
Dude, insane.
Like games, this is
And not
God.
only like his oversight was already shoddy at best, at least in execution.
Yep.
Now they just gave him oversight of like twice as many studios.
Dude.
Because he wasn't over all of them before. He was over Xbox Game Studio. Now he's over all of them.
Yeah. The whole thing.
How?
I have no clue.
It's
Like
not even
because
possible.
who else? Because they try to have some sort of like they had to have something. They had to have some sort of connective tissue, connective thing to the business.
And again, if Ashu was going to restart, you'd fire Matt Booty. That would have
Fire
been a
Matt Bo-
statement.
Yep.
That would have been a statement to the core. Regardless of the strategy.
He's got dirt on somebody.
Regardless to the strategy, if this
Mhm.
Friday's announcement was like Phil's out, Sarah's out, Matt Booty's out, we have somebody new, it was like, oh shit.
Yep.
They're changing everything. Like the fact that Matt Booty is still there, Sadie is like, yeah, she mentioned like I just don't see a whole lot of change on the horizon.
Yep.
It's like a slow fade into what is.
Oh,
what
that is so
continuing.
sad. That is
I'm so sorry,
sad.
Sean.
No, that's okay. That's fine. Matt Booty shouldn't have survived the Redfall mess, says Yarden. That's a Redfall. Redfall.
had
They closed their
Canaries.
E3.
We had Canaries, dude. Pete Hines was not here for this. He
Yeah.
got right the fuck out. He was a lifer,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he was just like, this is nonsense. And we saw like those leaked emails and shit. He was like, you could tell. Like, I kind of feel like he saw who was running the kitchen and he was like, we got to get off of this.
Yep.
You know, I got to.
Oh, yeah. Well,
he
Mike
just,
Ibarra
he just
left.
yeah. Just he left multiple. He left. They bought him. He quit again.
Yep. So did Rod Ferguson.
Yes, Rod Ferguson. It's like, yeah, we've seen this over and over. There is something to be. Perhaps it's just a Microsoft thing.
Yep.
It maybe just doesn't fit. The productivity UI company is not good at video games,
Well, I mean, I think that's the saddest part is that's obvious.
and that's okay. Like if
Yeah.
we were to say that, then it's like it just took them, $800 billion to like.
They
figure
never
it
have
out.
been.
And I'm
like, when you-
glad to have had the experience, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know, man.
So the things that make Xbox most notable in its history, Halo's number one that comes to mind. It was Bungie. They
Yeah.
didn't like they ended up having to buy them in order to make
Gears?
it theirs.
Was Epic.
Gears was Epic,
Mm-hmm.
which was like the next iteration of like the Unreal, so the proof of concept for the Unreal
Fable
engine.
1 was a PC game. They had to bring in Lionhead.
Yep.
Mhm.
BioShock was the second party deal. I've brought a Mass Effect was a second party deal. Like,
Yep.
which there's nothing wrong with that model because
Don't
it
forget about
clearly
Power
worked for the
Star
360.
Golf, Sean.
Sure.
Best fucking Xbox exclusive.
But again, like 360 days where Call of Duty was like that was the home for it. Oblivion, Morrowind, Xbox, like these are all it's all partnerships. They didn't own any of it.
Yeah.
But it made the brand really cool. I think that's a piece that is missed on this as well. Is PlayStation, Nintendo, they're cool. They're things you want to
They
have.
are.
There's nothing cool about
They're
Xbox.
in vogue.
There's nothing cool about it at all.
I don't know. I mean, I get what you're saying. I think a lot of PlayStation fans are excited that they get to play Halo. I've seen that in our Discord. So I think
Yeah, because it's a
I
console
don't
war.
think it's out of spite. Some of it is, but some of it's real.
I guess. It
I think
seems
they're like
Sonic.
I think
Ooh,
a lot of
Sonic's here.
people are saying like I'm not going to buy another console to play games. But if you bring these games, I'm happy to buy these games. Like I want to play these games.
Sure. Well, yeah, because they already. I mean, it's easy to say that now. We're 6 years into the
Oh, 100
Generation.
Yeah.
the consoles have been sold.
It's just 4 games. Like there's so much goes right. I'll never forget that weekend. That weekend was I don't know, revelatory to me.
Yeah.
You know, like all of the Xbox channels, Xbox 2 and Rand and Colt, and I watched so much your old co-host, not Ryan, the other one.
Luke.
I saw so many of them like, oh, I don't understand what you're talking about. It's no big deal. It'll be fine. And I was screaming like to Dev and Delvin, like, this is a massive deal. Under
Yeah.
no circumstance, if the shoe was on the other foot, would anybody be saying this is no big deal? This is huge and it has seismic ramifications for this whole industry. So there is a part of me that's seeing all of this. I do feel somewhat validated.
Oh yeah, you were bang on.
There was a quick notion to dismiss it. You know, and the part of it that I really I believe with Ryan about this, I think.
%.
That's the reason I'll never that's the reason it sticks with me. Consoles, you know,
Yeah.
like we had all evolved. I was like, no. This isn't a console warrior thing.
Yeah.
This is I want the brand, I want the ecosystem to be healthy thing.
I mean, maybe there's a blended line or a blurred line there, but it's like you still want because look where we're at now.
You can't like the moment it happened, the immediate response was, I don't have to buy one of these again.
100%.
Yeah, that's how this industry operates.
That's how it works. Yeah.
And if you don't like it, that's cool, but you can't dismiss
Mm-hmm.
that is the model.
Dude.
Like
perfectly
that
said.
is reality.
Perfectly
And
said.
that's why to this, like every time we Xbox, I probably always bring this up because, dude, I hated that weekend. I was so like, I've never felt so and loved Empire and everything. Like felt like I was, you know, coming off not at that time, but previous to that time, coming off of a high
Mhm.
and really being on board. And it was like that weekend, I was like, no, I'm not on this ride.
Yeah.
I'm off this ride. Everyone like I'm so disconnected from everyone else.
Trying to think of there's PlayStation has made moves that people are like, I can't believe PlayStation is doing this, but it's mostly just that some of their games have come to PC. I feel like that's it. Like they've always taken just a slightly more measured approach to all these big
conservative.
swings that Xbox has done. It's like, golly, man, they've just given Xbox just continues to hand it over to PlayStation.
This week, PlayStation had every headline about all, and the complete Microsoft was like, "We'll take that."
Right. Blue Point.
Nobody even
yeah, they
remembers
closed-
Blue Point.
I know,
anymore.
it's crazy. Yeah, exactly. I'm like,
You
what
just let
happened this
them
week? It's
right off
Monday.
the
What do you-
hook.
Yeah. Yeah, like they could have been the ones kind of sitting in that for a little bit, and yeah, nobody cares.
Blue Point who?
Yeah.
Yeah, this week was the first time I've got Kyle coming over to talk with us on PSVG this week, which is great because I only get to podcast with Kyle like once or twice a year. I've always liked his opinions on PlayStation. And it took me back a little bit because this is the first week I've seen a lot of PlayStation fans like severely respond to PlayStation.
Yeah.
I know that they weren't happy with the direction, but they were on board. Not like we want all the live service games, more of like we understand why you're doing the live service games, but please keep making God of War and Spider-Man and we'll be okay.
Yep.
This week I was like, he needs to be fired. I was like, oh shit. Like this is a different, like the temperature went up a lot. Blue Point hurt.
Yep.
Doesn't hurt me. I'm not all that invested, but I could tell like the super fans, this one stung because they were like, dude, fuck this dude.
Yep.
And I hadn't, that felt like a huge shift for me in just witnessing that kind of fan relation. And I'm eager to hear them tell me about like more about what they think, what's gotten them here.
My guess is it's a similar situation to Xbox. It's just delayed. It's death by 1,000 cuts. It's like, okay, well, we'll let you get away with that one. Okay, we'll let you get away with that one. Okay, we'll let you get away. And it's like, fuck. Like, and I think this is the one. And Xbox, it's just delayed. It like Xbox, we've gone through that in Xbox land. And it's like, all right, well, we give up on this. And it's like, just imagine if Xbox was in a little bit of a stronger position. You and I have said this for like 3 years now.
Forever. Yeah.
You know, Concord. Damn.
Yeah, it was right there for the taking.
Right.
They should have delayed the Xbox.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things that, or yeah, the closure of this studio or that studio, or the cancellation of this game or that game, or Jade Raymond quits, or blah blah blah. Like, you know, take your pick, and Kyle will do a better job than I am of that. But like, PlayStation is not immune to this either. It's just that there's like a lack of another option. Really, it's driven a lot of people to PC gaming. Maybe Nintendo Switch 2 is selling like crazy because it's like old reliable Nintendo.
I have a PlayStation coming, but I didn't want to buy one. Like I'm like reluctantly buying a console in case the Steam machine doesn't come out.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to.
Yeah.
Like I told Deb, I was like, I really don't want one of these. Like I really don't.
That's hilarious.
But I don't want a 4-foot computer, you know, and the Steam machine I'm very concerned about, like extremely concerned, because I'm concerned that they can't meet a price that's worth shipping. And that seems obvious. That seems like what the issue is. I'm also concerned they can't get parts to actually make them. Right. And in both of those scenarios, you delay. And if they delay into 2027, what if the RAM situation gets worse?
Yeah.
Now you're talking, now it may not come out at all.
Yeah.
Or what if the Xbox PC thing comes out in 2027 and it's 40 times better? Now, what are you going to come out with an $800 box nobody wants? And I keep circling back to this idea that I don't think Valve wants the Steam machine to fail twice.
Oh, for sure not.
So I think they want to launch it in an environment where it has a chance.
So we've talked about this maybe once before, but we're in a much different environment now.
Yeah.
The idea of like consoles have essentially become PCs. And it's like, this is a bad thing right now because PCs have never been more expensive to make and build. And it's like, maybe the return of Xbox is like, maybe a console isn't built on the most bleeding edge technology, which is, by the way, Nintendo's model. Like, is there a version of an Xbox or certainly not PlayStation? They're delaying until 2029 or whatever it's going to be. Like, is there an Xbox that's just built on like not quite the most bleeding edge thing, but it's convenient and it's small and it's affordable? And like, is there something to be said there? I don't know. But like, maybe that's the approach, because there was once upon a time that consoles were quite different from PCs, and it was okay because they were $200 and they just worked.
I don't know if those days are.
I know. I don't think so, because we're in the digital foundry.
Nobody's
era.
out there making their own like chips now. We've figured out chips. You know, like,
but I guess like, and there's a much more
back
eloquent.
then the stuff was proprietary, the graphics engine, because it was the dawn of that industry.
Sure. I guess where I'm going with it is like, what if like you can make a PC right now with like an AM5 AMD chip or an AM4, and an AM5 has like the latest CPUs, and you're going to be building with DDR5 RAM. But you can also build a pretty good gaming PC on AM4 with DDR4
the Steam
RAM.
machine, and you're describing the Series S.
Kind of. Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
I guess that's maybe the,
That is what the Steam Machine is.
you
It's
take
not,
that line of thinking and go like, why still?
the Steam Machine is not a very good piece of kit, like rasterization, like
But
pixel
it's
to
a P,
pixel.
but it is still a PC, and this is where I lack the technical knowledge to go like an Xbox 360 wasn't a PC. Like it was somewhat close, but
It
it
wasn't
wasn't
x86, but I get what
exactly.
you're saying. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, and well, not that I think it makes the point that it sounds like it does, but the Steam Machine also will not be x86. So
Is Linux, is that
yeah,
is that,
yeah,
yeah.
like it's Linux, so it's its own thing too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you're describing the Steam Machine. Yeah, that's what the Steam Machine is. That's why I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. I don't know how many people are, but it also depends. It depends greatly on the price.
You can tell I'm just trying to dodge the the situation, like the hardware situation. It doesn't sound like maybe there just is no way around.
I mean,
this mountain.
I think if you're at Xbox right now, no, hang on, let's say the right terms. If you're sitting at Microsoft right now, I think you see the console as a hindrance. It's
Right.
an anchor to what you want to do.
Oh, I mean, that's been obvious for years. That's been the
Yeah.
direction. It's
Yeah.
the one thing holding them back.
This environment, I don't think is helping that. I think that further cements their like,
No,
yeah,
again,
we're
back
tied
to
this shit.
cloud. Yeah,
Yeah.
get to
Which
decentralizing.
nobody wants,
Mm-hmm,
unless you could do it so well.
Well, unless there's a
that-
way to do
Unless
that
you could do it-
hybrid.
unless you could do it so well. That
Yeah,
people
is
are
there
into
is
it.
there a way to have somewhat hardware
Some
power?
native. I've always wanted a. So that's the hybrid device I've wanted.
Yeah,
I want a Mac Mini that's an Xbox.
right.
Like I want a little box that can play some things locally and other things cloud. And
Yeah.
I don't want to figure it out. I just want the box to tell me
Just
what
work.
I can do. Yeah. Like the whole UI and everything. It's like, yeah, you can play, like you can run these games at 1080p. You can run these old games, or you can launch the brand new Call of Duty, and it's affordable
Yeah,
and it's cheap. And I think that's enough trade-offs for convenience that I think you have something that you can sell.
Yeah.
Like that's the case for a streaming stick, and a streaming stick would make more sense because it's cheaper. If it goes under, nobody cares.
the price situation is a big one right now. It's maybe the most important thing.
Console's $800.
It's so
I
expensive.
think the new one, like the digital, is like the digital, it's like 500 or 550
right the
for a
digital
Series X. With the Series S is like $400. I remember when Series S's were like $180.
yeah.
Like you could clearly get multiples of them with no problem. Now it's a PlayStation or a Series S. You're gonna lose that choice.
It's not even a choice.
It's not a
even
choice. It's not a choice.
Yeah.
You're already losing the Series X PlayStation 5 division. Now you're losing the Series S PS5 decision. The whole point of the Series S, the whole reason for its existence is to be cheaper than the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And now it's not.
That's crazy. Well, and is it this 30% margin that Microsoft has in stock?
That's the
Example.
I don't think Xbox is going to meet that
percent of like 30 points on that. So,
This is why I keep coming back. Like, is it so bad for them to just go, we're going to publish a lot of great games and we're going to put them everywhere? Like, isn't that the easy way out? That's the easy way. That's the easy way out, right?
I guess so. Yeah. And then you have Nintendo and PlayStation are your options to play games on.
And PC.
And PC. Yep.
And maybe I've always thought, because I was hoping Game Pass was going to come to Switch, I think 5 years ago. You do a first party cloud app and you start offering that to other folks.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we'll have Halo and Gears and Call of Duty and stuff. You can stream it on our app, and we're going to put our app on your platform. We'll give you 30% of the cut.
Yeah. Yeah. Is there a version of Game Pass that is compelling for people that feature games only owned by Xbox?
When they raised the price, I was screaming that they needed a first party tier. You get day and date
for like a lower price.
Yep. You get day and date first party games, but first party games only.
Yeah, Game Pass would be interesting for us to do a bit of a a trimming exercise on Game Pass and go like, okay,
What do you think
what?
What do you think this means for Game Pass? Like all of this?
Shake
Anything?
up the future of Game Pass.
Like, do you think they're going to lower the price? Like, surely you don't think that, right?
I don't like I said, I don't know anything about this lady. I don't know anything about her.
Mm.
There's a lot of different ways that I could take this. That's why I'm pausing. Like
Take your
there's
time. I'm not trying to rush you.
no, that's fine. I'm not feeling. I'm just explaining more to the listeners of like the calculus that I'm doing here. One of the things they want to do is raise the number of subscribers to Game Pass. I think lowering the price might do that, but I don't think that's enough. I actually was arguing
The price
this on
was
the Xbox
lower
Drive.
before, and it didn't raise the subscriber base.
Exactly. Like a lot of people have talked about like add value to it and people will jump in. And I don't think that's the case
Not at $30.
either. Like it's not a needle moving.
30's too high.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't think there's any amount of content they could theoretically add that unless I've pitched in the past. I don't think this works for Game Pass, but I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. In the early days of Game Pass, I always expected Xbox to like partner up with like Amazon or Netflix and like tie their subscription to something else. Netflix doesn't have to worry about it. You've got the brands, you get the subscribers, you get a little like even if you sell it at a discount, reaching Netflix subscribers for $4.99 a month would sure as hell be a lot better than you trying to get people to sign up for $30 a month.
Yeah. From what I understand from Asha, like I think like customer acquisition in really interesting ways is it. And this is kind of my point about
this is kind of the new business
Xbox
ways
Live.
that I'm thinking of. Yeah.
This is and it ultimately it's old school thinking. Like it's just like this is putting Xbox Live in with every controller, every game, everything. It's like the name of the game is in this case is customer acquisition for Game Pass. So where do you get those people from? And maybe it is bundling in with or partnering up with Netflix or Amazon or take your like whatever it's going to be.
I get a free subscription to something for my Walmart subscription. I don't even use it, but it's there. And they're counting me as a user.
Well, they certainly can if they get your email address or if they get you to create an Xbox account.
Imagine an Xbox logo on your Netflix dashboard when you open the TV. It's like, hey, do you have a controller? Click the button, you subscribe, play some games. That's a needle mover.
Maybe. Yep. It's funny because like Netflix is like they're trying to do that.
I know.
Trying to increase the value of Netflix.
Which is why 6 years ago I was like, yeah, you beat them to it. You just take it to them.
Yeah.
You be that for them so they don't have to be. And you have the brands so they don't have to compete with it.
Yep.
But that means you have to sell it at a discount, which they clearly didn't want to do.
Yeah, no, I think my move with Game Pass, I think I've already said it. I think it's World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls first. Then you get into crazy ways of getting it into new people. Like if they buy a game on PlayStation, you give them a Game Pass code.
Is there any way at all that you see them trying to set the end for Game Pass?
What's that?
Do you see any path forward where they stop Game Pass?
Ooh, probably not. Stop Game Pass? No. I'd love to see them simplify it. I don't like how convoluted it's become. I know everybody back in the day was like, they need tiers, they need all these things, and I'm like, that is the last thing.
That was me. They need one thing. It's called Game Pass.
Exactly. I can't believe they've gotten to this point actually, and a lot of people were asking for it.
Yeah, it's atrocious.
No, it's way too complicated.
I've had this discussion in our Discord as well, so I was glad Yarden, because this is where I was going to go with it. I think there's a case to be made that if you're like, we want to rebuild Xbox, there is a case to be made to start by dismantling Game Pass. I don't think you can right now because they've sold it so far out in the future. Like, that's messy.
Yep.
But maybe starting the path to that road, like less investing in it, like starting to wind it down. And here's the reason why. You need to, at some point, for any of this to work and any strategy, you need to convince people to buy games.
Sure. Yeah.
And as long as Game Pass is here, it's going to be an obstacle. And if you can't reach Game Pass to new subscribers, then the only other direction is to go the other way.
Yeah.
If you want to continue, if you want to own a platform that makes its money off of selling games, you've got to get people to buy games.
So think about Nintendo. Like I'm just trying to think like what models are there out there because they're not giving up subscriptions. They need like a constant flow of cash coming to them. I get what you're
They
saying.
didn't even want to give up live. That's the other
Exactly.
thing. Like with this PC thing, do you need
That's
live
what I
to
mean.
play online? Nobody even knows.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they need some sort of subscription model. And it's like, okay, well, does it look more like what it is now? Does it look like what it used to be? Does it look like what PlayStation has? Does it look like what Nintendo has? And like maybe there's a case to be made of like virtual console for Xbox featuring all the, the games from 360 virtual console and the Xbox virtual console and Xbox One virtual, maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's a version of that could make sense that is kind of like Game Pass, but like extracts more value out of their library of games. Maybe this is like a re-celebration of backwards compatibility that could be just like repackaged. I think Game Pass offers an inexpensive way for people to come into playing games, but it probably overdid it to your point that it trained people out of buying games. And Nintendo has managed to do this with great success. They sell a Mario game full price, and they still have a subscription service that people don't really think twice about buying.
Yeah.
And they would tell their friends, they're like, you should buy this.
The value's there. We didn't think twice about buying Game Pass in 2018 either.
100%.
The value was there. Who was like,
Right.
"Would you not have it? What are you
Stupid?
stupid? Like you need it. Like you have to have it. Like you get so much return on value at $30. You're not.
Yep.
At $30, you're like, wait a minute, what is this again? You're making people choose.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. Like this is the thing. People want tiers, but they don't have and this is not a slight against anybody. It's just the way we only have so much attention to give. We don't have enough mental capacity for multiple tiers because people think Game Pass and they think it equals $30. And it's not the case.
Yeah.
Because like premium is not, what is it, $20?
The reason that people associate that is the thing they want is $30.
Day one.
That's
So
the thing.
this
That's
is
the
this is
whole-
where
that's the whole
it's a
service.
marketing and a messaging thing. Of like
But
they
that's
have
the whole
not
service.
done a good enough job of
I
like
think that's
this.
utility. That's not a message. That's utility. People think it's $30 because the tier they want is $30.
Well, so this is where I think it is a marketing thing where you like make them want the thing that they can afford.
But they want day one games.
But is the premium
$30,
tier
right?
maybe? But maybe because they don't even realize how good premium is.
That's true. Now maybe that's. But I just you're right. I'm not saying you're wrong. But if you can't convey that a lot faster, then it doesn't
100%.
matter.
100%.
Like it's asking anybody
Because
to give it
that's
that
your
much
sign
thought
that
is
it's too
much.
complicated. That's
Yeah.
your sign that it's way too
100%.
complicated.
That's why
It's-
people are like, it's $30.
It's 30. Totally, they'll take the shorthand to it, and the closest thing to it is like PC Game Pass is valuable. Like people will definitely say that. That's a commonly held belief. Is like, oh well, if you're gonna get a Game Pass, get PC Game Pass.
There are recent rumors that they're rolling PC Game Pass into Xbox Game Pass, like they're going to merge them into one.
Simpler would probably be better.
I think we're going to get an ad-supported tier. They're going to merge those. I like your pitch about like a Xbox Classics thing. That's something to say, and it's an announcement. But I don't think any of this is changing much.
Yeah, no.
I don't think people are not subscribing to the cloud gaming, the lowest tier, because it's too expensive.
Right.
I don't know how much
They still wanna play on
I
cloud.
don't know how much an ad supported model is going to do. Like perhaps there's people out there that won't. I mean, it is a free to play because you're banking on there's enough people out there that won't pay for any of this,
Mm-hmm.
but would engage with it for the inconvenience of a couple ads. And maybe that generates some revenue. That's not going to generate enough revenue to get Xbox anywhere near where they need to go. But that's exactly what I think, Ash is. I think that's exactly the type of stuff. I'm thinking of stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of going back to the way things used to be. I'm thinking of finding new ways to be.
You need a reason to be on there. No matter what it is, whether it's Game Pass or the console or whatever it is, like there has to be a reason to buy your game there.
Yeah.
Is
You're
it
absolutely
cheaper?
right.
Does it play better? Is it like, what is it? And there's nothing.
Hemster used to say use first or better on Xbox. And
Right.
Very few things was first or better on Xbox.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be the whole platform is first or better on Xbox, and we had very few things that were first or better. And most times it was first and worst on Xbox.
Damn. Yeah, right. Because they patch it and Game
Got
of
a
the Year
lot
edition will
better.
come out.
Or it's pro enhanced, or like the best versions of their games are clearly not on Xbox.
I continue to come back to like how much of Xbox is like their survival based on selling a couple games and units on PlayStation. I just don't see it. The math doesn't work out to me.
Not unless a third party.
What do you mean?
If they're EA and their business model is built around and reflects that they're third party, it's going to come at the cost of a lot of studios and stuff. But if they're EA, then you're like, yeah, we ship on everything and we're
Right.
shipping day and date on everything. We're going to try to make as much money out of this software as possible. That's just
I wonder-
Activision.
Yeah, golly.
Like that is just Activision, and they are in position to be an excellent version of that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's gonna hurt to get there, because I
Yeah.
think people think that, and they just think everyone stays and does their jobs. It's like, no, all those little, if you like, apparently a lot of people don't care about any of those little games. We do. The two of us do a lot, and all of those games will go away.
Yeah.
Like, you just look at what happened to Activision and just literally copy paste that back over, because they're all going to start running. They're going to start asking the same questions. Call of Duty nets us this much revenue, but we did what on Hellblade?
Yeah.
What? Why are we funding that then?
Mm-hmm.
Because before you were funding it to fill in Game Pass, to be an exclusive, to help identify you. You launched the console with Senua.
Yep.
It was the face.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of those things go out the window if you're just third party.
Yeah.
None of those matter, and it's just we sell games because we can make money off of games.
So
And that means they're going to cut a lot of people.
Well, so if we're gonna think about like if Xbox is gonna be like a third party, like EA, like or like Ubisoft, like whoever, I wonder if Xbox then or Microsoft is prepared for some of the journeys that some of these publishers have been on. And I'll talk to you about like Capcom. I'll talk to you about Konami.
Yeah.
Some of these
Some dark
publishers,
days.
gigantic names in games, have had some doldrum years. They've had some pretty brutal stretches. And there is now a playbook on how to get out of that. And I wonder if Xbox is even aware of this. Like, given if they're thinking of themselves as a publisher, do they go like, how did Konami get themselves out? Or how are they doing it now? Konami's doing it the way that Capcom did it, which is remaster some beloved games.
First thing I thought of was Gears Reloaded and Halo campaign rebooted.
I guess.
That's a quick way to get there.
I guess so. Maybe they do. Maybe they have seen the playbook.
Yeah.
Maybe it is. Maybe they. Yeah, I wonder. But they got to ramp it up, man. They got a lot more than that.
I agree with you, but yeah, there's a line there's dots to be connected.
But also,
there.
that's not like. So thank you for bringing it up because it actually proves the point that like they're not getting it. Because
Yeah.
Gears Reloaded is not Resident Evil remake.
Gears
like, it's like-
Reloaded was a nothing burger on, like, it showed up, and it left, and that was it. And I'm still very curious to see if that's Halo's fate. We've been talking about PSVG a lot, and that seems to be the belief. Is everyone's like, yeah, nobody's going to play that because it's just the campaign and it's an old game, and
Yep.
and I'm very like, it blows my mind that we're talking about Halo actually releasing on PS5 and people just dismissing it like it doesn't matter at all.
It entirely depends on what like campaign evolved. What does it mean? Is this just a prettier version of it, or is this like Final Fantasy remake? Is
Mhm.
it Resident Evil remake? Like, is it different?
Does it galvanize?
Right. Like, it really depends on that for
Yeah.
sure. I
Yeah.
think people have in their minds already decided this is just up-res Halo campaign, in which case you're probably right to go, it's not going to move the needle. But if they've like made some sort of like significant change to make it way better, or whatever feeling we felt when
Sure.
Resident Evil Remake came out, etc., like that's the bar, for better or worse. Like that is the bar. That's the playbook.
Clearly, people would be over the moon if Halo Master Chief Collection just didn't exist.
I mean, there's another example of just like missing it.
Yeah.
It should have
Yeah.
been such a major
was an
moment
easy
for Xbox
moment.
One. Yeah,
An easy moment.
yeah, could have had it. That was your your Halo all in one. Everything is there.
Yeah.
Like, it's the way that turned out is the reason we don't have a Marcus Phoenix collection. It's because
Yeah.
of what such a mess the Halo collection was, the Master Chief collection.
You think of the God of War collection or the Uncharted collection.
Yeah,
Damn, dude. That's
Yeah, they did it.
Whew. All right. Dude, let's talk about something else.
Are we still in
think
Xbox land? I don't know what we're what are we
totally
doing?
walked that dog.
Okay, fair enough. Yes.
You know, I think we've done the thing.
yeah.
I've
Okay.
said everything I think I want to say, or at least made all the cases I want to make.
Yep.
I'm not rooting against them.
Yeah.
I don't know what they're doing, but I want them to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I love Xbox. And
Same.
I would love nothing more than to be like, they've done so much that I want to buy an Xbox again. Yeah, that'd
Can
be
you
great.
imagine? Yeah.
That'd be great.
Can't get worse.
But that's basically exactly what I think. I think
Yeah.
it's about as bad as it has ever been.
Yeah.
And which is crazy because of their software library that they have bought up, they're in better shape today than they've been in other years. But the brand is in the worst place the brand has been, because it doesn't even really feel like a brand anymore.
No.
Like, their brand is Call of Duty.
You're like, I guess it's an Xbox game.
Exactly.
Technically.
Because they put the box on it. And
Because
it's like,
of a financial statement.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, is this an Xbox episode entirely? Should we reconvene for a Donnie's life?
That's
Kinda,
up to you,
because
man. If you got to go, I'm not going to try to hold you, but I'm totally here to talk if you want to keep talking.
I think it makes sense to keep this Xbox contained because I think for the people who want to listen to Xbox chatter, they have got that. For anything else, I want to go back to your spreadsheet and your approach to games and your like revelations in life. But let's reconvene for that very, very soon.
Okay. Sure.
Okay. I think that might be it.
All right.
If that's all on the Xbox front, I'm very curious what you guys will chat about on PSVG.
Not as much.
Well,
Like I just say that much.
I'm sure your co-host will be sure
I'm
of
gonna
that.
direct people right here and be like, hey, if you want to hear all of it, go there.
Here it
I'm
is.
just gonna be like, yeah, generally I don't think this is good, and I wish them the best.
Here's what I'll say as we close. I am excited. I really do hope that we get something soon from Xbox. Mostly just as somebody who still does a weekly Xbox podcast. I would like to be able to cover this excitedly, and I put that in complete opposition to how I avoided talking about the Activision Blizzard King
Yeah.
acquisition entirely.
That's
I
funny.
would like to cover, there's this movement and there's
this one I like though.
Right. Well, it's because maybe I hope that we get some sort of like glimmer of hope soon.
It would be strange to wait all the way to June and them just keep acting like nothing, like everything's the same.
God, I can actually see it.
Yeah, me
happening,
too.
Sadly.
Yeah. They're like, what are you talking about? We'll talk to you in June. Like as if nothing needs to be said.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're just selling games now.
Well, here's the other thing. The other thing that I fear, which is very possible, is that we wake up one day and then not, in the near term future, to another video of Xbox folks sitting on a couch, saying the types of things that they only say when they release a video of them sitting on a couch.
I want to see, like, has Windows Central before we've now been chatting for 3.5 hours. Or
Yeah,
something
where they
here.
announce like some really.
Yeah, like has something. Wouldn't that be amazing if something? I mean, we're doing this late in the
broke
day,
while we were
so-
live.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, like I feel like that's necessary, and I am somewhat taken aback that nothing more concrete was signaled on Friday. To have all of this happen and all of this change, to basically say that like we're still doing everything we were doing before seems at odds with itself. It's like, no, you're not. You're going off script. You're going against the plan. The plan was that Sarah was doing this. Like something changed. So like, what's changed? And quite like the optimist wants me to say they're not ready to tell us yet, but the realist in me goes, Xbox tells us shit they're not ready to tell us all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like I generally think when Xbox is very quick to tell you exactly what they're doing years in advance most of the time. Like that would be a real departure from like their,
now's
their
the time they
culture.
decide to stay quiet.
Yeah, like
They've done nothing but talk and talk and
and
talk.
at the same
and talk.
time, that's very Xbox. To make that decision now would be very Xbox.
Yeah, why? Oh man,
It's so Browns like. You're just expecting the
That's
worst.
what I was thinking
every
earlier.
Opportunity.
You and I have we're recording this the day after Team Canada lost in men's ice hockey to Team USA. Now,
Oh,
congratulations.
Really? Oh shit!
Oh, exactly.
We beat the Canadians.
You didn't even know.
Holy shit!
You didn't even know.
Well, I haven't watched the Olympics. I don't give a shit about the Olympics.
Dude, every Canadian watched. Yes.
My mother-in-law, die-hard Olympics. She watches all of them. She's telling us about the figure skaters and the luge and shit. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I know.
Oh, wow. America won the gold in women's figure skating as well.
Hell
so,
yeah.
So
USA.
Exactly.
USA.
Exactly.
USA.
So there's a sports analogy to be made here. And if you are from like a football city or a hockey town like I am, there's history in Edmonton with where there were glory days. But the Oilers have been to the Stanley Cup Finals twice in a row and lost. And Team Canada was captained by Edmonton's captain, Connor McDavid, and he just lost the gold medal game. So he's now lost two Stanley Cups in a row and an Olympic gold medal match. And it's like, what is wrong with us?
That's the Jim Kelly of hockey.
Exactly.
Oof.
I assume.
Jim Kelly was a great, legendary quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. They went to the Super Bowl 4 years in a row and lost every one.
There it is. Yep.
They're the only team to have gone to four. I think the only team to have gone to 4 consecutive Super Bowls. Nobody has done that ever. Of all the dynasties that have won, like Tom Brady's won like 12 Super Bowls. He was never there 4 years in a row. He never went 4 years in a row. And Jim Kelly did, but couldn't win one.
That's crazy.
0 for 4, man.
Well, that's
brutal for the
That's
Bills.
what it feels like sometimes to be in Xbox land.
And the sad part is he was great. Like he obviously, like he undoubtedly was amazing, but
Connor McDavid, like easily the best player on planet Earth. Can't do it.
It's hard to break through sometimes.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's a whole like, is someone the GOAT or are they not the GOAT? You know,
I was a lifelong Phil Mickelson fan, who was Tiger's runner-up most years. The man has like 12 second place finishes to the U.S. Open.
Yeah,
he's finished second for like 3 decades. And he was back when golf was amazing and electric and popular. He was the underdog, kind of the Phil the Thrill. He was the guy that went for broke 10 Cup, and he always lost
10 Cup, nice.
And for years, like he was. Do you know who I'm talking about at all?
Yeah, Phil Mickelson.
Yeah,
of course.
I didn't know.
Yeah, left-handed, wasn't he?
Yeah, left.
Or isn't he? They should say was. Yeah.
He won a PGA tournament as an amateur, like a feat of very few have ever done.
Crazy.
Like he was crazy talented, but for like a decade of his career from the start, never won a major, and he had to wear that over and over in every term, like Xbox. Are you going to do it this time, Phil? If it's not this time, it'll never be this. In every year after year after year, and he was brutal for him. He changed his swing, he changed his clubs, like it was a whole thing until it didn't. Until he went to Augusta in I think 04 or 02, and he fucking won the thing. He had to win it too. He had to make like a 30-foot putt on 18 on Sunday to win, and he fucking sanked it. And he won 5 like in 4 years after that. Man couldn't win anything for 10 years, and when he finally did, it all broke through. Yeah,
well, that was our moment. This Olympics, and we couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. That's fine. It's not our entire national identity.
Basketball team's good.
Is it?
Yeah, Canadian basketball team.
Our women lost to the U.S. as well. Both hockey teams lost to the U.S.
That seems uncalled for. Like, how is that possible?
It's crazy. I mean,
I didn't even know our women played hockey here.
The women's hockey team was clearly way better. They were just amazing. They were so good. Canada's team was better, but they didn't win. They just couldn't score.
Any given Sunday, dude.
Any given Sunday. It was on a Sunday.
That's why you play. That's why you can't pick winners. That's why they play.
Exactly. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
So that might be Xbox. That might just.
Maybe they'll break through. Maybe this is their moment. I can absolutely tell you that I would love nothing more than to see this fucking Phoenix rise from the ashes and be the person that was like, Sean told you so. And in D-Life, if they go with D-Life, the D-Life told, like, I would love to see that day.
Oh, this is thank you. This prompt's actually maybe the most salient way that I can put any sort of excitement I have right now is this is almost like Xbox admitting this isn't going so well, and it makes me it reminds me of like Desperate Xbox, and I like Desperate Xbox. I think we can all agree. We like it when Xbox gets a little desperate because they do some crazy shit.
I feel like Xbox has been desperate for a decade.
I know they have been, but they haven't like said it.
Mm.
Like Phil's out, Sarah's out, somebody else is in. Like, I don't know. This
I
is
know
a
what you
more
mean.
specific way of
I
saying.
mean, I know what you mean, but I feel like I could pick it apart. I don't know if that's
I know.
even important. You know, it's like they were super desperate when they sacked Matrick.
Right, and that was pretty great time.
But then
We got a 1S, we got Game Pass, we got 1X.
I see Phil in front of the pillar of logos behind him, and he's like, "We bought Double Fine, and we bought," and I'm like, "Yeah, that was them desperate."
Right.
You know. Yeah, but has
That's
it turned out? But is it? It
Game
hasn't
Pass was
gone
good for a
very
bit
well.
there. I think Game Pass was good there for a bit. Yeah. Like I said, Xbox One X, pretty great.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe that gets washed or swept
I think
under the
we're
rug.
picking different things to think of when we think of those things. I think of Tango. You know, like I think of Perfect Dark. I'm thinking of a lot of other
That's too
things.
late. You're too far down the road. That's
Okay.
too late.
Okay.
That's
All
too
right.
late.
Yeah, because I'm like, because I was just thinking in my head, like if tomorrow they were like to your point, like we're gonna buy Blue Point, and it sounds really great. Like, yeah, fucking suck it, Sony. We're gonna get some remasters, but it's like, in what world do I trust Matt Booty?
No, it's gonna take like 3 to 5 things that
Like,
are
y'all
tangible
bought
and they're
Perfect Dark
happening.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
That's
Tango.
Yeah. Well, like, what do you mean by when you say just Tango? Like, what are you
They
saying?
closed Tango. Like,
Yeah.
after a decade of being like, we need more Japan games. We need to be in Japan. It's like, here's fucking Tango Gameworks,
pretty
a
bad.
legend
That was pretty bad.
running the whole goddamn studio. And like the day they bought Bethesda, I was like, we got fucking Tango. Oh yeah. And then they shuttered it all and fired him. I was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, pretty nuts.
They're like, oh, it didn't sell. Who gives a shit? Do you not have anything else to sell with your 40 other studios? Maybe we keep this one because it's cool and has influence, because the person over here that makes shit makes cool shit that makes people pay attention. I don't know. Maybe that's worth having, even if you lose a little on this. We haven't lost a little on other things yet. You know, like there's a lot of hurt there too, as I mentioned with Lionhead, Tango, you know, and it's so like if they were to come out tomorrow and announce 5 studios they've bought, I don't think I would react to that very well at all, personally.
Yeah, because they don't steward the studios very well. You just think
They've kind of burned those boats.
Sure. Yeah.
I'd be like, oh God, not again, man.
No, they need to do
Like,
something.
please stop doing this.
Well, they need to do something that like impacts the player now, like
Yeah.
today.
That I'm with you.
They need to like they've built like trying to like rally an army of like Xbox fans by doing things that they've almost like kind of tricked everybody into thinking is good for them. But it's like it needs to be in our homes. Like it's kind of like it's almost like very government. It's like, oh, we're gonna do all this shit. It's like, oh, I believe you, and like it doesn't impact your day to day at all, like one
They
way
need
or
to
another.
stoke belief. They need buy-in. They have
Yeah,
none.
yeah, like it needs
That's
to be. Mm-hmm.
They have none.
Yep.
Outside of D-Life.
Well, yeah, it's like why?
I just always give him shit. It was very fun. I was having fun with him earlier because Friday we were debating, and you know, obviously I read all this stuff and I read it in a way that I thought validated me. He also read it in a way that he thought validated him, which I thought was fascinating today when the Verge article came out that basically was invalidating everything he thought. I was like, now what?
No.
So like now I don't know what to think. Like we're all thinking differently, and that's kind of I think that's why when we were talking earlier about the marketing, the messaging needed to be Friday, because now we're all just spiraling into what could be. They didn't need to have it all figured out, but like it would have been nice to have a point, a nod in the right direction.
Like I said, it needs to be something that you can act upon. Otherwise, who gives a shit what the timing is?
Don't you feel like they're far away for that? Like their path forward is set in stone. They've partnered with AMD. They've settled on a platform. They've made commitments for their games. Like, I don't know how this works. Like, can they just come out tomorrow and be like, Forza's not coming to PlayStation? Like, wouldn't that
Yeah.
cost them something? Don't they have agreements and everything? Like, having people pre-ordered game, like, I don't think they can do that. So,
I think
like-
they can. I think games get canceled all the time. I think they can.
yeah, like, then wouldn't we have gotten
But it's
Ghostwire
Fable is the one.
Tokyo
Forza
instead?
did they say it was coming later, or like I don't even remember them saying anything about PlayStation.
I thought they affirmed that it was coming to PlayStation, but
Oh,
I'm not following
PlayStation.
Forza as nearly as much.
Oh, there is a. It's actually on the store, which is crazy.
Yeah, that's what I'm kind of like. I think they've already like made commitments.
It's not a day one release for PlayStation, but a specific date is not yet set.
Correct. So, yeah, like
That would be crazy.
I don't think they can do anything that drastic in the near short term. I think the next 2 years of Xbox is like in play. It's in motion.
Yeah, sure. On like what games are going where. Yeah.
And just kind
That
of
front.
generally what they're doing. Like they would have to, I mean, they'd have to redo the whole platform, I guess. That's possible, but is it likely?
Xbox is 50%. Like buy Xbox hardware for 50% off. And it is now the original launch price.
Yeah.
Like that's something they can do. Like everything, every move they're going to do, you will be able to say that's going to cost some money. So
Yeah,
like, let's
yeah,
just like put that
100%.
aside. Let's
Yeah.
just put that aside.
The answer
Um,
is, are they committed to doing it? Like, I mean, the question.
Yeah.
Are you committed to getting back in the game with Xbox?
Right.
We don't know yet.
The return of Xbox, and it starts with getting into your home, and it's
Starts with
40%
spending a
of what it's
ton of money.
60% off.
Yeah, it
It's
starts
way less
spending a
money.
shit ton of money.
You are not even going to be able to get one. It's going to be so affordable. It's going to be there. We're going to have a supply problem, and you can't have one. Is the best
Man, I'm telling
marketing.
you, I would make a controller for the PlayStation and some Xbox plates, and I'd be like,
You
"Fucking,
would
we'll,
do
we'll
plates.
see you over there, guys. You're gonna buy our games." Yeah, like
I'd love to know what kind of stock they're sitting on. Like, what are they? Like, how many Xbox Series X's are sitting around because they can't sell them?
I heard Jez speak to this months and months ago, so it could be outdated. But there was a time. It may have been over a year ago, actually, because there was a moment. You'll probably remember. There was a moment where like Xboxes were extremely hard to find. They were just
Sure.
gone.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 6 or 8 months. They just weren't around.
Yep.
And everybody was kind of asking, like, what do they just don't make them? And they're not selling. Jez said that they were basically making them to order, like
Yeah, I
within
do remember
reason,
that.
but like
Yeah.
very short orders and short turnarounds because they weren't selling.
That is so shitty.
So they were buying in limited allotments.
Oh my god.
I mean,
That's
and
how
it's
you jack up the price. 'cause you're not
100%.
building in bulk. Like it's oh my god.
Yeah, 100%. But again, you're looking at the metrics. They're not selling. Why are we making so many?
Yeah.
Yeah, like I like this
Uh.
podcast with you a lot because even if we didn't give people what they wanted to hear, or if maybe I didn't give you what you wanted to hear, we actually explored these ideas and tried to support them.
Yeah,
in
how does this
some
work?
way.
Let's run this. Let's run this experiment. What happens next?
Yeah. And that's what I felt has been missing this whole week. It's just people saying X is going to happen with very little support.
Well, because they make statements that are just like, well, trust me, bro. Like this is a truth. And it's like, are you
Sources.
Sure, yeah. And it's like, well, let's think about it. Again, like
Yeah.
run the
What does
experiment,
that
run the
mean?
model. Yeah.
Not just for you, the Xbox fan,
Yeah.
but for developers and people that work at. What does it mean for Microsoft? What does it mean for the
Mhm.
shareholders?
Yeah.
You know, because Microsoft loves being one of the $1 trillion market. Like, yeah, like we're gonna come to the shareholders and be like, well, we've kind of ran this in the ground, so we're gonna light a bunch of money on fire to get it back. Like that's not gonna go well.
Man, I'm trying not to make it like a console war kind of thing, but it's hard not to when you compare PlayStation and Xbox. But it's like a lot of people are kind of going like, I guess Xbox just kind of goes away. And like maybe let's run that experiment. And like so you have PlayStation with really no competition
Yeah.
in that sort of same space.
Yep.
And it's like, are you happy with that? Like
You
then
have Nintendo trying to cling to the heels of PlayStation so they don't like get left behind, right? Just in general, like support.
yeah, oh, I see. Like just being able
PlayStation
to-
releases a PlayStation 6 and the the gap between the two are going to be massive. Like having Xbox there, a good Xbox,
As far as
I think,
performance goes,
provided like some cover fire.
yeah,
Just even capability, because the standard is the PlayStation.
yeah.
That's the standard. So like
I
their
mean,
features
dollars
set
are going
and
to be
their
the grand
thing-
equalizer here.
Well, I mean, like from a development side, from a software, what the PlayStation
There
is
too.
capable of doing is the standard. And if Nintendo is so far away from it, technically, support becomes a problem. I'm thinking about this as a Nintendo fan.
I understand, but the standard is what people can afford to play. Like there are, let me try to extend this. Like there are games that could exist if the technology was there for us to play them. Now there are quantum computers out there that are capable of running trillions of calculations per second, but we can't afford to have those systems in our home. So what we have in our home are what we have that we can afford.
Yep.
So like saying that like the bleeding edge technology sets the standard is actually not really true. Like what sets the standard is what can affordably and feasibly get into people's homes. Does that make sense?
The PlayStation can and has with 100 million, so they've set the standard.
Sure, but like the trajectory on like where things are going right now is like that
My point was, if there is no Xbox, the PlayStation 6 sets the standard for the console market.
But I guess what I'm
Technically.
saying is like the landscape is that's not a guarantee anymore. That has been the case in the past. But what if PlayStation 6 they can't even launch it because they can't even get the hardware or they can launch it and it's $1,400.
We get into the Rampocalypse where consoles don't make sense anymore.
Or Nintendo's the only viable option.
I think in that world, consoles just like we ran into this in our very formative years. But that was the recession in 2008. Like that just means the PlayStation 5 sticks around longer.
Yes.
That's all.
Yep.
And that would be good for Nintendo. That would.
I was just gonna say that. That's it. I took the breath to say, like, I think that Nintendo is best positioned for all of this. It's kind of what I was trying to get into with, like, how does Xbox have like a lesser power thing? But like that doesn't. They're not that brand either. Like they can't just suddenly go like, oh, we're the strongest. Yeah, Nintendo has played the long game on this one. Like
they just fucking.
They couldn't have
severely
known.
Under promise and over deliver.
I mean, maybe there's a something to be said about knowing, the arms race is just to mutual self-destruction, mutual destruction. Like when you're just trying to go with the bleeding edge stuff.
About learning from your mistakes and instead of learn that mistake.
Right.
People have disagreed with them because they've literally went in the opposite direction. It has worked out more often than not.
It's pretty nuts.
There are examples of it not working, but boy, are there examples of it working a lot. Because they were like, the GameCube just didn't do it, despite all of its better features. So,
you know what's crazy to me? Nintendo's the only one of the three that's powered by NVIDIA, and I think that that's crazy.
That was a genius move. But that's all out of that Shield tablet.
If Xbox knows that PlayStation's with AMD or vice versa, why do they go with the same?
Because NVIDIA is more expensive. They all go with an AMD because AMD's cheaper.
Sure.
The reason Nintendo is with NVIDIA is because they went to Android.
They went to Android?
They're not on x86. They're not on x86 architecture. They're on whatever
the hell. Yeah.
Well, it's Android. It's Android programming. Like it's all basically, I forget what it's called.
Okay, so this is what I was trying to get to before.
Their architecture is Android. So the chips that they're getting from NVIDIA for this is not like the 4800 and the 40, like it's not the 4080.
Right.
It's a mobile chip. They've gone mobile.
Right.
That's what I meant by Android. So they're the chipset that they're on is all about power efficiency, not output. Yeah.
This is what I was trying to get at before. Thank you. This is 2 hours after the fact. Is don't make a PC. Make like Nintendo. That's what Nintendo's doing. Like Nintendo has made a consoles.
You're saying go the Apple route. Go Apple Silicon.
Yes.
Go and okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Make it.
That's something.
But they're not going to do that.
There's not. I mean, there's something to be said about that because it's affordable. Now it doesn't reach the highest, but maybe you could offset that with cloud.
Right.
But what D-Life, you're singing to D-Life's ears, because what D-Life would tell you is that it's not as powerful, but the gap is shortening.
Right.
Like they're closing that gap very fast.
Well, and again, it's not as powerful, but can people afford it? Like, yeah, your thing is powerful, but it's $1,400. It's unaffordable. Like, who cares if it's powerful? Nobody can afford. The 1% can afford it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It depends on like how much people are really. That's people putting their money where their mouth is on. Do they really like? Are they really lamenting how expensive gaming is getting? And if they are, then they'll choose a less expensive option, or they just continue to pony up for whatever the most expensive thing is.
ARM was the word I was looking for.
ARM, yes.
They're on ARM.
Yes.
The whole different program, a whole different thing. It's a whole different thing.
Yep.
And that's where the port job and the translation, that's where it's difficult. And that's why it's not really, when you see a game get ported to Switch, it's not really, it's not that accurate to put the two versions side by side.
100%.
Because
this was console ports versus
you're
PC
absolutely right.
ports. This is the comparison. Now, it totally is roadblocked by Play Anywhere. Like it's the same game. They're trying to be able to go to developers and say, make your game and we'll make it as easy as possible to put it in as many places.
There's a reason why we left that model.
I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Development and support. And the only reason Nintendo even has an opportunity to go ARM is because of the mobile space. There's so much in Android. Handheld. Yeah, they're just piggybacking off of others.
I get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
no, I like
that's to an extent, that's what Steam is doing. They're like, yeah, we'll take that old shit and put something together and we'll sell that.
Yeah. Right.
And that's exactly what Nintendo did.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, yeah,
no, I get why we've ended up where we are, but the environment we find ourselves in now is not what like it was in 2012.
I'm just trying to apply these things to Xbox. Like I get what you're saying. And as a console, like let's be different. That's a very Nintendo. Let's be different.
Yeah.
The difference being that I think that the challenge on that is that Xbox is ran by Microsoft, which is constantly looking a way to proliferate
100%.
Windows and like their products. Like
they
would never allow it.
Yeah.
I get like, man, the future that people want Xbox to be, I think in so many different aspects could only happen if they got away from Microsoft.
Yeah.
Like under Microsoft,
right.
These aren't plausible
100%.
outcomes. Like they'll never be allowed to do this.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, we'll get a Call of Duty on. We have a 10-year agreement to get Call of Duty on Switch.
We'll steal a kernel of Windows and strip it down and make it our own. Like that shit doesn't happen there anymore. And hasn't in like
that
the
sucks because that's what started Xbox.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's literally yeah.
Yeah. And you know, like, yeah, like so when we think about these outcomes, I'm just like, I don't even know is that like even in the cards.
I mean, maybe that is it. A kernel of Windows on a console. Like just return of Xbox.
What if they just started hiring all those people again? That would signal more of that. If they walked out Friday and was like, Seamus Blackley's back and he's the president, we'd be like, oh shit. Then then I'm right here with you, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, fuck them. We are back. But that's kind of what I was alluding to.
It's all missing the forest for the trees, man. There's some basic fundamentals here that I actually think carry more weight than anybody's giving it credit. And but it's hard to measure it. So maybe it's not worth talking about.
Yeah, we went on another 30 minutes longer than we wanted to.
Yeah.
So I gotta get you out of here.
It's time to eat. It's time for me to eat.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for Sweet Hangs this month. A very Xbox centered podcast. I hope you've enjoyed it, Sean. I've
loved it.
Yeah.
No, I think there's going to be more to the Xbox story very soon. But before we podcast about Xbox, I need to know about your spreadsheet. You had such a good spreadsheet last time.
Okay. We can just do that on a stream or something with you one day if you want.
No, we're at the end of. We'll do March's pretty soon here. We'll do March's Sweet Hangs here.
I'm off for a week, so we can make that happen.
That's good to know.
My birthday.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So
Mario Day's coming up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool.
All right.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here. Peace.